And welcome back to the Thunderwolves pregame show. And joining me now, head coach Phil V. Hill. Phil, a monumental test awaits you here today.
Mainz is a very, very good football team. You know, they're ranked number 2 in the country for a reason. You know, they've played in some very high caliber games over the last couple of years. Obviously, going to the national championship last year, they got the best player in football, Division II, coming back this year as a senior. Their quarterback, John Matoka. We're going to have our hands full to keep him contained. Defensively, they're a very good team. The front seven are about as good block destruction as I've seen. They had 71 sacks last year, 10 against Csu-Pueblo alone in the playoff game. And so offensively, we've got to find a way to keep Chance upright. We got to find a way to do our job 6 seconds at a time for 60 minutes. And I think if we were able to do that, I think we can play with anybody. But we definitely have our hands full today with Mainz.
Well, looking back to last week, I guess you hope it's not a disturbing trend. Kind of slow start. You had a great start in the first ball game of the year, but the last 2 games offensively struggled a little bit in the first quarter.
Yeah, we gotta find easy completions. We gotta find creative ways to run the football against this front. They're gonna overload the box. They're gonna put 7 guys in the box, regardless of how many guys you have in there. And so we've got to find creative angles and ways to be able to run the football to alleviate some pressure off of Chance and what he does at the quarterback position.
We kind of kidded you in the coaches show. Special teams a little bit of a problem with the punt team, but the way to alleviate that, the best way, is not to have to punt. But I'm sure that was a point of emphasis this week.
Yeah, we can't plan on that, you know. So we're gonna fix what we had to fix from a punt standpoint, and Mainz has not shown that they've gone after a lot of punts. I would expect that to change on Saturday with what we put on tape. I expect them to come after it, and so all week long we've tweaked our punt. We put a couple of new people in there from a personnel standpoint, and it's looked good all week.
Well, everybody talks about Mainz offense. Everybody focuses on it, what they've done through the years, but really what turned their program around to get them into national prominence, I think, is their defense has become incredible.
Yeah, they're like I said earlier, they're very good defensively. Number 46 is an All-American. He plays buck linebacker for him. He does a really good job of rushing the quarterback, setting the edge. They have a knack for turnovers. There's times even this year where a guy's out of position and the ball just finds him, and that's what good teams do. They're opportunistic on defense and very good at, like I said, block destruction and getting after the quarterback. And so we've got to find ways to protect Chance. We've got to find ways to get the ball out of our hand quickly and allow our athletes on the edge go make plays.
I guess that block destruction thing is kind of like their front four seem to occupy so many people that it allows free runners at the ball all the time.
Well, they're able to take on double teams really well. Their linebackers do a really good job of shedding blocks from the offensive line. They do a really good job of getting skinny and getting by those guys and stacking them and putting themselves in a position to make plays. And so offensively, especially with the offensive line, we got to find a way to strain and finish blocks. You know, that's something we did not do on Saturday against Western Colorado. We've got to finish blocks, and that will open up opportunities for Keon and some of those other guys to go have a day.
I guess you always want to get the ball out quick, avoid sacks in this situation, but there has to become a time where you got to have protection, let take some deep shots as well.
For sure, absolutely, and we're gonna, we talk about we want to be situational masters and do really be very efficient in our calculated shots. You only get so many of those, and so you've got to find the right time, the right place to be able to do it, and we're definitely going to do it on Saturday. We're going to let it go. And we're going to see if they can run with us.
All right, John Matoka, he kind of stirs the drink for this ball club. What a quarterback. He's been around forever. And this guy, everybody talks about the plays he makes on the run. Those are fabulous, but he can sometimes just sit there in the pocket and pick you apart as well.
Yeah, there's no doubt. He's a complete player. He can, if you want him to stay in the pocket, he can make throws in the pocket. If you want him to run the football, he can run the football. I think where he is best is when the play breaks down. And so we've got to find a way to keep him in the pocket. And because when plays break down, it makes it really difficult on our defensive backs. Because now they're not just covering for 3 seconds. Now they're covering for 6 seconds. And they've got to be great eye discipline and great trail technique. And they've got to do all those things for an extra 2 or 3 seconds. That's a tough ask. And so you look at a lot of their big plays against really quality opponents the last couple of weeks, is a lot of it is a play breaking down and John Matoka making a play. And receivers, like I said, are really, really talented. And if you put it in their vicinity, they're going to come down with it. So we got to find a way to slow him down. That's just what we got to do. I don't know if we'll be able to contain him. He's one of the best to ever do it. We got to find a way to slow him down.
I guess ideally also, they're going to make plays, but I guess you want to have to make a lot of plays during the drive instead of the big play.
Yeah, just make them earn it. We want to obviously limit explosives on defense and try to make sure that they earn it all the way down the football field. And we played very good defensively. This entire season we played really good defensively, and so we got to find a way to continue to do that on Saturday.
All right, Thunderbolts head coach Phil Veal, good luck.
Thank you very much.
All right, back with more of our pregame show. It all comes your way next on Fox Sports Pueblo. And welcome back to the Thunderbolt. Jim Brooks along with Joe Cervi, Benny Bash, our producer and engineer today. Great weather conditions except for the wind. We've got a wind kind of picking up here all of a sudden. 77 degrees, expecting a high later on about 81 degrees. But the wind kicking right now a little bit here in the stadium. Saying 10 miles an hour, but it's gusting up probably around 20, Joe.
Yeah, and that's always when the kicking game comes around, and nothing's automatic with kickers in this town, or in this conference, or in Division II football. So kicking game's something to keep an eye on. You're going to want the wind at your back as often as possible.
All right, more of our pregame show comes your way next on Fox Sports Pueblo.
You're listening to CSU Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports 1350. Let's head to the field and join the voices of the pack, Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi.
And welcome back to the Thunderbolt. Band down below, wanting the fans to dance here. That's always a good thing. Mines has made their way out of the tunnel across the way. Thunderwolves will be out shortly. Joe, let's do the keys to victory for today's ball game. First for the Thunderwolves.
First and foremost, I got to start fast. I got to be ready from the jump to play the second-ranked team in the nation. That's offensively, defensively, special teams. That Phil Veal has preached, do your job all week long. And hey, when you punch the clock and it's time to go to work, you better start. This team cannot afford to start slow in any area of the game today.
All right, for the Ore Diggers to keep their winning streak going, what do they have to do?
Well, pick a poison. Matoka can beat you with his legs. He can beat you with his arm. He can beat you with his smarts. I think where you're going to see the difference in CSU Pueblo's Mines is very good up front, both offensively and defensively. And if they control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, they will be happy with their performance.
All right, there you have it. Thunderwolves still not quite out milling. The Ore Diggers out a little bit early by what they have on the old script, but I just think they were tired of being in the shed over there with the door down. They decided, let's just go out and enjoy the band as well. Well, beautiful day.
Helmets are shiny, the Ore Diggers. We're getting a glare from across the way, and it's just for fans' notice. CSU Pueblo today is wearing blue tops and white pants with the white helmets, and the executive council picks what they wear, and I'm curious as to why they would wear blue when they play Mines.
And they wore red when they played Western Colorado. I would have gone opposite myself, but that's you and
I. I like today. I'd have done the all red.
Yeah,
red
just
pants,
go all
red tops.
red. Yeah, do they have that contrast?
But see, we're not in the executive council.
That's right. We got if we need more.
We're not on the student council. We're not on any council.
And frankly, don't want to be.
No, we're on the
council.
No, we're our votes don't matter, which is great. But what I like, Jim, today is I like CSU Pueblo's. They had a good week of practice, and they had a good week of intensity, and they're going to need it.
It is band day here as well, so a few different high school bands are in attendance, so they're all out there on the field, so that makes it a nice big grouping down there, so that'll be cool when the anthem is played here shortly. Right now, we're going to take care of some of our business. We'll come back. We'll have the kickoff, starting lineups, all that's coming your way next on Fox Sports Pueblo.
You're listening to CSU Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports 1350. Let's head to the field and join the voices of the pack, Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi.
And welcome back to the Thunderbolt. Thunderbolts still have not come out of the locker room down the way in the tunnel. They're a little late for the party here, but hopefully they're not late for the ball game, Joe.
Make them wait.
Exactly what is going on here.
They're just making them wait.
We just had the DOS Aviation flyover here. It's always kind of a neat thing that they instituted a couple years back.
They always come over to the Thunder Zone after they do their thing at Pueblo Regional Airport, and they have their jumpsuits on. It's like a mini Top Gun.
Yeah, they're ready. They're ready for action there.
They want to start singing, and please don't.
I guess they just probably go to work that way, and then when they get off work, they stop at the Thunder Zone. They don't bother going home.
Hopefully they're going to work. They're coming from work.
Yes, and not going like the old Foster Brooks move.
Well, I like it was in dodgeball when he's in the airport.
Yeah.
And he's next to the pilot drinking.
Foster Brooks always said, "You're a pilot too?" Here comes Rock. Rock leading the way, but there's nobody behind him. Rock's just making his appearance.
Rock says, "I'm going."
Yeah,
and Mark Rickman just kind of goes where Rock goes.
Yeah, when Rock's ready to rock, he rocks.
The good doctor.
And now we're looking still. Thunderwolves still not coming out of the building. We're down to about 6.5 minutes on the clock. Usually they're out by now.
Well, they're playing everybody's glued to the Thundertron.
You know, but I'm looking at the old script. They're supposed to come out on the field with 5 minutes to go.
Well, that's 1:55
on the game clock. So I guess they got another hour, or minute and 15 seconds before they come on out here. Other action today in the RMAC. Western Colorado leads Chadron State. Game being played up in Chadron today, 28-3. They've just moved into the third quarter there. That was a 12 o'clock start earlier. South Dakota Mines leads Highlands 28-0. Black Hill State is at Mesa. That should have kicked off a little while ago. We don't have a score yet on that one. Fort Lewis is at Adams State. That's a night game today in Alamosa. Also on a local level, the big game in the state today, CU is at Oregon. We'll be keeping you up to date on that game as it goes on. My friend Troy Tack and his son are in attendance today in Eugene.
They are losing 7-0
early on
to the Go Ducks.
The Ducks, yeah. Joe's a Go Ducks guy today.
I'm a whoever they're playing fan.
There you go, exactly. And Air Force, impressive victory last night. Well, that was a beatdown in the second half. They were down by 10 at one point, and they never gave San Jose the ball in the second half.
Yeah, did they attempt a pass?
I don't remember them doing it. They just ran it all night.
Well, I know that they're averaging 3 passes attempted a game. I'm like, that's the old Tom Brockman Centennial Bulldogs.
Yeah, and San Jose State only ran 3 plays in the third quarter. It was a 3-and-out. Air Force scored on the first drive, 3-and-out. They got it. They just took all the air out of the ball. It was crazy.
That's what they do.
Who's CSU got today?
They are at Middle Tennessee State tonight. And
okay.
It's kind of funny because you think Middle Tennessee State. Middle Tennessee
pretty
State's good.
Yeah, they're pretty
good. They were good last year, too.
Yeah, they surprised some people here.
Yeah, no, they were good last year, too.
Another big game in college football tonight to be Notre Dame, I guess, and Ohio State. Another one of your favorite programs, Notre Dame.
If something were to happen in that stadium and that whole place imploded, both Ohio State and Notre Dame, I would be fine.
There you go.
You know, people, and just a little background, I was raised a Trojans fan from USC, and their biggest rival was Notre Dame, and they always played Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. So those are the reasons why I don't like those teams.
Here come the Thunderwolves, led by head coach Phil Vigil, and then running out in front of him is Andrew Cook, who had the touchdown on the punt return last week. Hope you caught my call on Facebook. I went and I kind of borrowed the video and put our call over it, Joe. Everybody liked your another brick in the wall.
Yeah, well.
They liked the Pink Floyd punt return. That was a great play.
And when we talk about a wall being set up for a punt returner, that was picture perfect. That's textbook drawing of the way it happened.
All right, let's give you the starting lineups for today's ball game. We'll introduce the Thunderwolves offense today. They'll go this way. It'll be Chance Fuller, 6'3", 195-pound senior out of Arlington, Texas. His transfer from Fort Hays. Running back, Keon Martinez. Keon is a 5'8", 185-pound sophomore out of Regis Jesuit High School in Denver. The wide receivers, the aforementioned Andrew Cook, 5'10", 172-pound junior out of Tucson. He'll be joined by Reggie Ratzliff. Ratzliff is a 6'3", 212-pound junior out of Corona, California. Zach Rakowski, what a year he's had so far. They list him at 6 foot. I'm not quite by it. 141-pound sophomore out of Loveland, Colorado.
There's no way.
C.K. Paulus, the other wide receiver, 6'2", 164-pound senior out of Northport, Florida. The tight end, Curtis Luckadoo, back in the starting lineup now for the Thunderwolves. Like his physical presence, 6'6", 242-pound junior out of Reno, Nevada. The tackles, Cade Chapman. Cade, a 6'5", 270-pound senior out of Highlands Ranch. He went to Rock Canyon High School. The other tackle is Arthur Brock. Arthur is a 6'3", 263-pound junior out of East High School here in Pueblo. Tristan Rail is one of the guards. He's the left guard. Tristan, 6'2", 284-pound senior out of Chandler, Arizona. The right guard is Domingo Prince II. And Domingo is a 6'2", 320-pound sophomore out of Aurora. Went to Cherry Creek High School. The center is the freshman, Sinon Chappell. He's a true freshman. 6'1", 275-pound freshman out of Fort Worth, Texas. Coin toss taking place right now. Joe will keep track of that. Mines on defense. The cornerbacks will be Jackson Zimmerman along with Cam Forrest. The free safety is Logan Rayburn. The strong safety is Jaden Williams. Their linebackers are good ones. Jaden Healy, Adrian Moreno, and Hayden Gregg, along with Nolan Reeve. They call Nolan Leo linebacker, and he roams everywhere. The defensive end, Zach Hester. The nose tackle is Kyle Bonson. He's a big physical specimen out there, and Jack Peterson is the defensive tackle. Head coach is Pete Sturbick. In his first year at the helm at Mines, he was actually a finalist for this job. So as Joe and I were kind of kidding each other beforehand, we've had the 3 finalists for the Thunderwolves job here in the building the last 2 weekends.
That's right. Jazz Baines from Western was one of the 3, and Pete was one of the 3, and of course Phil Vigil got the job. So Jim, the coin toss, the honorary captain today, one of our favorites, former kicker Kyle Major.
I saw that. That's cool.
Big Kyle was in the house today, and people, if you ever heard Kyle Major kick a football, it was a different sound.
It was.
He kicked for 4 years here at Csu-Pueblo. They didn't have to worry about a kicker for 4 years. Anyway, Mines won the toss, deferred, and Csu-Pueblo will get the ball to start the half. They will be going from north to south or left to right.
Well, we're going to find out in a hurry if the Thunderwolves have taken care of the last 2 games, Joe. They've been terrible in that first possession, 3 and out. In fact, against Grand Valley, the first 3 possessions, 3 and out. They ran 9 plays in the first quarter, never got a first down. And then last week struggled offensively early in the game.
Yeah, again, that's why the key to the game is from the jump. You got to be ready to go. Now, the wind is going to be with Mines in this first quarter, so they get the wind and the ball in the second half. I look for all kicks heading north to be way out of the end zone, because this isn't just a breeze now, it's wind.
Yeah, it's kind of an unusual wind at this time of the year, coming out of the southeast, kind of blowing, kind of quartering across the field, but definitely favoring the Orediggers.
A warm wind blowing now, Jimmy.
Exactly, and we're supposed to get a second front coming through later tonight, I guess. It's kind of a weird deal. That's when the wind will shift, and it'll be a little chillier when we go down to the Chili Fest later.
Well, there you go.
All right, we're ready to go. I always got to decide whether to sit or stand. I'm going to go into a power stance.
I'm going to sit to start.
There you go. Because this window is right at my eye level, right there. Crazy. All right, here we go. Orediggers to kick it off. Hunter Pearson is into it. High kick. Fair catch signaled for. And McGarity just allows it to hit into the end zone. You don't have to handle it. Once it hits into the end zone, it comes out to the 25 automatically.
Well, and if you notice that ball, it looked like it was going to be fielded at the 10, and it just kept carrying.
Yeah, it almost seemed like that might have been the Mines strategy there to try to make the Thunderwolves handle it.
And it just kept carrying.
All right, so the Thunderwolves come right out to the line of scrimmage. Chance Fuller, the quarterback. You'll have Keon Martinez on his right hip. They're going to go double wide out right. It'll be Cook and Retzleff to the right. Paulus is wide to the left. The tight end is Lucky Duke. He lines up in the slot on the right. So a little unbalanced right this time for the Thunderwolves. They bring a man in motion. That's Cook across the formation. And they're going to pass right side, or left side rather, right side rather to Retzleff. Gets forward for 4, maybe 5 yards. They're going to mark it at the 29. So just a quick out to Retzleff. 2nd and 6.
Already on that first pass by Chance Fuller, it had some smoke on it. Remember last week he started like he was floating the ball. Second half it was much better, but that was a great pass to start the game.
2nd down and 6 for the Pack from the 29-yard line. Send a man in motion. That's Lucky to the left. He's open over there. They don't go that way. They go over the middle and throws it right into the turf. As hit right as he threw it was Fuller.
Yeah, he was one of the Mines guys was blocked into the CSU lineman who, and in turn, kind of fell on Fuller.
And that big lineman for the Orediggers, Jack Peterson. 3rd down and 6, so immediately the Thunderwolves offense under a little pressure here. Let's see how the Orediggers treat it. They have their base 4 up on the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to show 5 guys rushing here. Now they back out of it a little bit. Fuller looks, fires over the middle. Ball deflected. Tried to get to Retzlaff. It looked like the linebacker perhaps that time got his hand on. I think it was Jaden Healy.
Jaden Healy, Jimmy just stuck that big mid. It was a little crosser route, and the ball was actually behind Healy, but he got a little finger on it.
And it's a good thing for the Ordigers because Retzlaff was breaking open across the middle. That might have went for some real estate that time. So Thunderbolts have to punt it into this win. So that means the Ordigers are going to have excellent field position here to start this ball game. You get the feeling.
You know, and this was the Navy last week for Csu-Pueblo. It was an adventure, the punt team.
2 of them blocked. 1 of them they never got off. And now we've got a problem. Then you got to get the kicking ball in play here. Phil Vigil, the head coach, shouting at the ball boy down here. Hey, we need a kicking ball.
Yeah. His work is never done. The coaches, they have to manage everything.
And the coaching staff paying special attention to this punt protection here.
Andre Haddad last week. He
shanked it and it goes straight right out of bounds. That means the Ordigers are going to have this ball at about the 40-yard line, I do believe.
That's just not good.
Let's see where they spotted. They're coming up the field here.
Wow, they got a break there.
Thunderbolts got away with a little bit of.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, there's no way that went out at the 46. That was more like, I thought it was inside the 40, Joe.
Yeah, I did too, because that ball just went off the side of his foot. But it was end over end, so that was just a bad kick.
So your worst nightmare here for the Thunderwolves. 3 and out. They punted into the win, and now the Ordigers are already in Thunderwolves territory. They start at the 46-yard line. Just underway here. 14-19 to go, first quarter, no score. John Matoka, the All-American quarterback. He's the Harlan Hill winner. That means he's the best Division II college football player in the land last year. Trips to the right, single wide out left. Running back is Walker. They fake it to him. They look left over the middle. Now they pass out into the flat to Walker, and he's hit down after a gain of about 4. He was the safety valve that time. Good stop there for the Thunderbolts. John Nushi up on the stop.
Yeah, Nushi's responsibility on that play was the tailback.
So a gain of 4, second down and 6 for the Ordigers.
You know, the good news for Csu-Pueblo is you're going strength on strength. Matoka and Max McLeod offensively against your defensive secondary, which is one of the tops in the nation.
Bring a man in motion. That's a tight end. Resets on the left side. They run it around the left side. Good opening across the 40, 35, 30, down the sideline, 20, 15. Ball pops out, but it goes out of bounds. It'll be a first down for the Ordigers all the way down at the Thunderwolves' 18-yard line, I believe.
You talk about hat on hat. Mine's offensive players were locked up individually with Csu-Pueblo defenders, and they had them all turned. Their backs were to the play.
So first and 10, Mines at the 18-yard line of the pack. No score here. First possession of the game for the Ordigers. Trips to the left. Ball's on the left hash mark. Pass left side. It's caught. Oh, nice move there, but coming up with the stop, but not before getting the first down and more. Inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line. That was a beautiful move that time by Max McLeod. Now a flag comes down late. A little extracurricular here at the end.
Somebody said something at the end of that play. And Csu-Pueblo is one of the most penalized teams in the country. It's not going to show down here because there's not many yards to get on a penalty.
After the play, personal foul. Under Jerry Rogers, number 16, defense.
And a penalty on the Thunderwolves. It's on Daniel Dixon.
Yeah, just probably a little shove as a receiver getting up.
So first and goal for the Ordigers. They're at the 4-yard line of the Thunderwolves. Shift the backup running back to the right hip. They give it to him up the middle, puts his head down, bangs his way down to the 1, trying to fight for the goal line, and they stop him at the 1. That's Noah Roper who's into the game. He has 2 touchdowns on the year for the Ordigers. He's the backup running back out of Erie, Colorado.
Some tough guys come out of Erie. We know that.
That's for sure. They're going to spot it at the 2, evidently. They said his forward progress was stopped. So second and goal from the 2 for the Ordigers. Walker's back in the game. He takes the handoff up the middle, bangs his way down to the goal line. He's short, though. They're going to mark him at the 1. He kind of went down in a hurry. Looked like a little opening there, but somebody got on his legs and knocked him down.
Yeah, it was Dominic Finney, Jim, the defensive end. just submarined him, was able to corral him. It's good to see Cody Ramming back out for Csu-Pueblo. They missed him.
Thunderwolves with some late substitutions. They're getting set on the line here. They let them set. It's 3rd down and goal from just inside the 2-yard line. Matoka takes it up the middle. He's hit at the goal line and not get in. Just tried to run the quarterback follow play, and Matoka was stuffed, so it'll be 4th down and goal now from the 1.
Now, you know they're going to go for it because they have one of the highest, most potent offenses in the country. They're going to probably do the same play.
Matoka was blasted there that time. Here it is, 4th. High step gets away. It's on the deck, and Matoka is taken down back at the 9-yard line.
John Nushi makes the stop. The pride of Lahana.
And
Tiger pride.
That gets the fans to their feet here. The team is energized as well on the goal line stand for the Pack.
One of the top teams in the nation offensively in every area, and the Thunderbolts just stonewall them for 4 straight downs.
Well, the Thunderbolts will take over at their own 8-yard line. Mines kept, they didn't want to waste any time, Joe. They went into hurry up, and they played that down like it was in hurry up.
They did, and let's give credit, Steele Petty, the senior center for Mines. That ball was high, and Matoka had trouble fielding it. The play was blown up from the start.
But, man, for that moment, you feel this is going to be right up Matoka's alley. He's going to come up with it and do something with it, but couldn't get anything off. You're going to hand the ball up the middle for the Thunderwolves, and not much there. Maybe a yard or 2 out to the 10.
Little Adrian Soto now in at tailback. We talked to Phil Vigil about that this week on the coaches show. Keon Martinez got the bulk of the carries last week, Jim, almost all of them. And they're going to get better rotation this week. Pueblo County's own Adrian Soto.
2nd down and 8 from the 10. This time Soto lines up on the left. They ship both tight ends, double tight end set over to the right side, so the Thunderwolves unbalanced that way. They give it to Soto, fights his way forward, tries to break a tackle, fights forward to about the 14-yard line. Good hard run that time by Soto.
Now he transferred in from Fort Hays State, played 4 years for the Tigers, was a very productive tailback. Again, he was an outstanding player at Pueblo County High School, and now he has 1 year of eligibility, and he's playing here with the Thunderwolves.
3rd down and 4. The ball's at the 14. Thunderwolves need the 18 for the 1st down. Soto remains in the game. He's on the right hip of Fuller. Kind of a tight formation here. Straight drop back. They look right, and Soto has it, gets forward. He's got the 1st down.
Nice little play by Chance Fuller. He waited just a half a second to let Soto clear. Put it right on the money.
Fans rise to their feet, give the Thunderwolves an ovation there. They know 1st downs are critical here for this Pack team. Their confidence shaken a little bit in the 1st quarter of the last couple of ball games. Paulus and Cook wide to the left, Rakowski and Retzlaff to the right in this formation.
Now, Howard Russell in at tailback.
Straight drop back by Fuller. Sets. Here comes pressure off the edge. Goes over the middle to Russell. Nice move there. Fights forward to about the 24-yard line. Gains 4. 2nd down and 6.
Russell also a transfer in. He had a great couple of years in eastern New Mexico. I asked him, is Pueblo better than Portales? And heck yeah.
It's for sure. I got a good story. I don't think I can tell that one on the air. I got a good story about the old golf team back in the 70s for the Thunderwolves.
Down in Portales?
Yeah, well, they took a little trip to Texas. Here is the handoff to Russell. He's hitting the backfield. He's thrown backwards and for a big loss. Let's see how much forward progress they give him. I don't think they're going to give him much here. Looks like maybe the 18-yard line is where forward progress. So a loss of 6. So it's going to be 3rd down and 12 now for the Pack. He never could get going there.
No, and we talked earlier about the interior of Mines' defense. They just blew up all the holes, and he had nowhere to go. There was no seam whatsoever.
Thunderbolts going 5 wide receivers this time. McGarrity's in the ball game. Try to get him to jump offside. Flag comes out. Free play up the right sideline. Retzlaff has it! Nope. And he dropped it at the end. He had it for a moment and then lost it at the 40-yard line.
Would have been offsides, though, on Mines.
It was a free play basically there, and that's why Fuller took the shot. And Retzlaff had both hands on him. It looked like maybe the cornerback came up between his hands there at the end and able to dislodge the ball. So the ball out to the 23.
Our good friend Cecil Harrison, the white hat today.
So 3rd and 7 now for the Thunderwolves. No score here, 1st quarter. Martinez back in the game on the right hip. Trips to the left, single wide out right. So McGarity was just in there for one play on that 5 wide out. setup. Fuller in the gun. Bring Cook in motion toward the formation. Straight drop back by Fuller. Pass over the middle. That's broken up. No flag. Good defense there.
Tried to feed that to Keon Martinez just on a short little crosser and bracketed defensively.
Will Dragish on the coverage there. It was tight coverage, but in my mind, that's just football. That was good play.
Rubbin's racing right there.
Right there, exactly. You don't want to start throwing ticky-tack penalty flags. Well, it was a terrible punt the first time by Haddad. Let's see what he can come up with this time. Good snap. Punt is away. And it goes straight up. Fair catch signal for. Look out. Caught at the 41-yard line. Had to make a last-second adjustment there on the punt return, but somehow got underneath it. Timeout on the field. 8:43 to go here in the first quarter. No score on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Please direct your attention to the south 20-yard line, where members of...
And welcome back to the Thunder Bowl.
We need a cardiologist.
Man, I said we need something to revive us, don't we?
No, just every time something goes a little bit off, we hold our breaths and our heart stops a little bit, make sure we're on the air.
Get the paddles out.
You know, so far for Csu-Pueblo, not bad. Not great, but not bad. You know, you just didn't want them to come out and lay down, and that was a great goal line stand for 4 plays. Got a couple first downs. The punt was a little bit better. You know, you still have to up your game. And, you know, Phil Vigil said on his coaches show that they don't have to play over their heads. They just have to play to their capabilities. And I think we're seeing that a little bit so far.
Yeah, most definitely. Oregon up 13-0 now on the Buffs. Late first quarter there.
It's not enough.
Tracking that one all day long. Mines comes out. They'll start from their own 40-yard line.
This could be Max McLeod time, Jim. Eli Pittman on him.
He has caught 22 passes already this year. 3 straight 100-yard receiving days to start this year for McLeod. He comes in motion. They fake the jet sweep. They go up the middle. And Roper. They kind of alternate their running backs, Walker and Roper. This is Roper. He averages 4.5 yards a carry. He picks up 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Ball just outside the 43.
And that was Finney and Scipio on tackle for Csu-Pueblo. That's that whole left side of that defensive line.
Boy, look at this formation. Quad set to the left here. 4 wide receivers. 1 wide receiver right. Matoka straight drop back, quarterback draw, and it's wide open. Former runs right up the middle of the field, inside the 40, 35, down to the 32-yard line. Joe, that's what you do. You get all those bodies out wide to the left. The defense is influenced that way. Matoka just goes right up the middle.
And he probably just reads the backer. If the backer goes to the bunch formation, the pattern's wide open for him to take off. We do have a true freshman for Csu-Pueblo starting at linebacker, and that's Gary Seidenberger. He's played his way into the starting lineup.
Straight drop back by Matoka. Goes right, ball caught. Nick Stone on the grab down inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. A pickup of 8. It'll be 2nd down and 2 for the Orediggers here. 7:35 to go. First quarter, no score.
You know, Matoka's not physically imposing. He's 5'11", 180 pounds. Doesn't have an overly strong arm. I mean, he's serviceable strong arm, but he's one of the toughest competitors I've ever seen in the RMAC.
Oh, but easily you can call him the greatest, I think.
At least
greatest
during our time.
Exactly. And they fake the jet sweep action again. They give it up the middle to Roper. He's got the first down inside the 20 down to the 19-yard line. They bring Max McLeod in motion across the formation, give you that jet sweep look, and then they just go right up the middle with it.
You know, Danny Medina, Pueblo South product, played at Mines, a quarterback during the Bob Stitt era, the Stitt Happens era, and he texted me today. He said Mines is quarterback U. They just roll him off the assembly line up there in Golden.
Well, he'll say that because he was a quarterback.
Yeah. But I told him, enjoy your last days of Matoka.
Straight drop back. Here comes a blitz. Pass right side wide open. Caught inside the 10. Nice adjustment there for the first down to the 7 by Roper. Thunderbolts came with a little safety blitz off the edge, and Matoka just calmly flipped it right over the top. And Roper down inside the 10.
Yeah, Daniel Bone was about 2 feet from him, thinking he's going to get a shot, and the ball goes right through his arms.
And there was no happy feet whatsoever by Matoka. He just calmly stepped right into it, flipped it right over the top of him. 1st and goal for the Orediggers. They give it up the middle, and breaking a tackle, touchdown, Noah Roper.
Well, that's your welcome to your RMAC moment as a start, Gary Seidenberger. You got to wrap him up.
Yeah, he had his hands on him, but just the good strength there of Roper takes it on into the end zone. So the Orediggers cash in. The good field position. Now extra point try upcoming for Hunter Pearson. Pearson on the year, 18 for 18 on extra points. Ball's down, kick is up, and it is good. 6:10 to go here in the first quarter. We'll keep it right here. No media timeout at this spot in the ball game. Joe, you like my entertaining email I sent out this week. I said, when we get a touchdown at this point in the game, just take the timeout. It's a natural spot to do it, but they live by the rules. Basketball does it. They get just the timeouts. They don't live by the hard and fast rule, but here in football we do. So we got to wait till the under 5 timeout, they call it.
You know what cracks me up about that, though, is it's on tape delay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
The TV, it doesn't matter. They can put it on whenever they want. You can plug them in after in post. We've done enough TV in our lives to know that it's very doable.
Exactly.
But that was a great drive for Mines. Again, wind at their back. Matoka just perfect on that drive. Pressure in his face. Doesn't, like you said, no happy feet. Doesn't freak out. There's not a defense he hasn't seen. And folks, he won the Harlan Hill Award. Jim alluded to earlier. He won that last year, and that's for the most outstanding player in all of Division II.
Yeah, a little unfortunate in the national championship game against Ferris State. He banged his hand on a helmet on the first possession of the ball game, and he was never quite the same the rest of the ball game. He, competed his guts out. He just couldn't throw the ball as well as he wanted to. Kickoff taken by McGarrett. He had designs of running that one back, but he was backpedaling and alertly just took a knee, so it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
They all want to bring it out.
Yeah,
but you don't realize you can go to the 25 without getting hit for free.
So Thunderwolves on their third possession of the game. The last possession, they showed a little spark.
Got your fourth tailback in, and Jordan Jones. He played one play last week, fumbled a kickoff, and didn't see the field the rest of the game.
Lucky Do is the tight end on the right side. Trips to the double wide out left. Ball caught by Cook. And gets forward for about 3 on the play. Almost down to a knee that time, but kept that knee off the ground, but that had killed all of his momentum. The pass was low out in the flat.
Defenders are paying special attention to Cook. They need to find ways to get him open.
2nd down and 7 from the 28. Now the Thunderwolves will change the play call after the pre-snap read. Play action. Here comes pressure. Fuller up the left side. Pass too tall. He just didn't look comfortable, Joe. He just needed to step into it and rifle a strike to Paulson. He threw it 5 feet over his head. He was open. Play was there.
We were both watching his feet. He kind of shuffled and then got a little bit quick. And, that motion that he showed in the first 2 games of just pure confidence, step in, let it rip kind of motion, we didn't see last week or early today.
Yeah, I guess we'd call that kind of happy feet is the best way I can describe it there. Just was not comfortable. 3rd down and 7. Orediggers probably going to send pressure. Here comes the safety up on the line of scrimmage. Here they come right through there and hit him. Ball is loose. It's on the deck. Thunder was able to cover it up, though, to save disaster, but it'll be 4th down.
Jaden Healy again, the linebacker, broke free.
Well, that was late pressure, too. They came up on the line of scrimmage late, and they got a free run at Fuller and blasted it. So 4th down for the Pack. They'll have to punt the ball away again into this wind here with 5:09 to go in the first quarter. It's 7-0. Orediggers on top. Connor Mickelson stands at midfield here to return the punt. Haddad's punt is away, and again, he shanks it to the right. The wind has got it, knocks it down. It hits at the 40, takes a Mines bounce, goes out of bounds at about the 39-yard line.
Weeks now. He's out of Littleton. He played at the University of New England.
Should be a timeout, and we do get it. 4:48 to go here in the first quarter. 7-0 Orediggers on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Pack athletes would like to thank our loyal corporate partners, Parkview Health.
Well, Joe, I'm always one of those guys that hates to assume, but I assume we're back. 4:48 to go here in the first quarter. 7-0 Orediggers. as they have the ball at the 40-yard line of the Pack. Second time they've started a drive in Pack territory here. Straight drop back by Matoka. Sets, fires up the left sideline. He's going for it all. He's got the man open. Touchdown! Dropped it right into the bucket.
Flynn Sheely, the wide receiver, had great separation and just took off.
Sheely's first touchdown grab of the year. And he went right by the Thunderwolves cornerback for a quick strike touchdown, and it's the Orediggers up top 13-0 with 4:40 to go here in the first quarter.
Well, with the wind in your sails and that arm of Matoka, it's taking the wind out of CSU Pueblo's sails, Jim. That was one play, 40 yards, touchdown.
Extra point try upcoming. Hunter Pearson.
Out of South Carolina.
Kick on its way, and it is good. No immediate timeout here. And that's the thing about Matoka. Everybody talks about the plays he can make on the run, Joe, but he could sit there in the pocket and drop it. I mean, that was a beautiful pass, and you got to understand, we got windy conditions here to be able to drop it. I guess that's what they said, dropping dimes, Joe, just right there. That was a perfect example of it.
It was right over the shoulder, but if you're a Mines fan, Flynn Sheely had great separation. He just ran a straight go route down the sidelines, and he had about a 3-step lead on Eli Pittman. And Jim, that's pitch and catch, even though it's 40 yards away. But Matoka threw that ball about 50 yards because he was about 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Exactly. It was just a beautiful toss.
Of course, that 15-mile-an-hour wind at his back doesn't hurt either.
But still, with that wind, that's just to be able to drop it like that accurate is amazing. What a player he is. It's just been, we could say it's been a treat, but I don't know if it's a treat when you're calling games for the other program against him. But still, the football fan in you just enjoys watching. I watch a lot of his games just against other teams, and he's amazing.
Yeah, we've seen some really good players in the RMAC through the years, and many NFL players, but Matoka's that kind of guy that's going to get his degree and go make money and be grateful for all his time in D2 football and at Mines.
Kick goes out the back of the end zone, so it'll be Thunderwolves football at their own 25-yard line. And down 14-0. We're in familiar territory here, Joe. The Grand Valley down 21-0. Last week against Western down 10-0. Eventually 27-7. It's a disturbing trend right now for Pack.
Nothing going on offense. Again, into the wind. You're getting beat up front. You have a very young offensive line that's trying to go against some big senior-laden defense. Got to figure out a way to chip away.
Martinez to the back. He'll take the carry up the middle. He's hit immediately. Breaks one tackle. Gets forward to about the 28-yard line. Good tough run that time by Martinez. 2nd down and 7.
We talk a lot about Keon Martinez. He never wants to come off the field. No player really does, but he's like the Energizer Bunny. He just keeps going and going.
Actually gave him forward progress to the 29, so it's 2nd and 6. Another carry from Martinez. He goes right into his own blocker in the backfield, able to fight forward just barely across the 30-yard line. Get some pushing and shoving. A little bit of scrum inside there. He ran right into the back of Domingo Prince, who was stood up on the front there. They do give him 2 on the play, so it'll be 3rd down and 4 from the 31-yard line.
Big 3rd down for Csu-Pueblo, who's not been good on 3rd downs at all this season.
Straight drop back by Fuller. Looks right. Fires over the middle. That's incomplete. Looked like a little bit of grabbing there. No flag, and the good defense. The nickelbacker that time.
Nate Suter.
For Mines.
You know, when you're a free safety and you can cover Andrew Cook like that, it means you got a little bit of wheels.
You know, Suter, he's not even listed on the depth chart, so he came in there as the extra defensive back there. So the Thunderwolves go 3 and out. Down 14-0 here with 3:51 to go in the first quarter. Punt is away, and not a very good one. Into that breeze, takes a Mines bounce. Thunderwolves have to down it at midfield. Man, this has been a disaster here in this first half. Say maybe the key turning point of the game was the coin flip.
Yeah, taking that, letting Mines decide which way they want to kick after you take the ball because they deferred. It's catch-22. Not only, well, we'll give you the ball. We'll defer, and okay, well, we'll take the ball, but you get the win. And that's proved to be it's played a difference, I think.
Oh, it is. We've seen, Thunderwolves won that playoff game down at Midwestern State a few years back in 2015 just by having the win in the first quarter. They just destroyed them.
It was cold. That was a cold game.
Eventually had to hold on, but one of the keys was late in the game when Midwestern had to operate in that win. So ball at the 49-yard line for the Orediggers. They already lead at 14-0. 3:43 to go here in the first quarter. Matoka in the gun. Has Roper on his right hip. Fakes it to him. Pump fake right. Now goes, well, he wanted to go down the sideline and almost, that's a great catch. One-handed, I believe so.
No, it hit the ground.
It is a catch.
Jim, that ball skidded, it looked like. But Zach Hoffman did a good job shielding one of the officials. Looked like the ball skidded.
And now it looks like we're going to get a challenge here. Well, Thunderbolts are going to take a timeout. They want to look it over before they do challenge it. And now they are going to challenge. So we'll keep it right here.
Now,
anyway, look, even if he didn't catch it, it was a remarkable play to sell the fact that he might have caught it with that stabbing it with the right hand, the man right in his face, and he went down to the turf. And both officials kind of looked at each other and said, play on.
Well, and you and I are both of the, how do you think it looked at first glance? And to me, in first glance, it looked like the ball skidded.
Yeah, when he went down to the ground, it looked like it definitely repositioned.
But we are also, it's a good 150 yards away from us right now. So, and the replay that we saw, it was inconclusive. Phil Vigil right now is 0 in challenges in 2023.
And they don't show the replays up on the board here, if you're wondering, which is kind of screwy. Why not let everybody see the same thing the refs are seeing? Because I guess they don't want them influenced.
Yeah.
But, if you're a professional enough, who cares what the fans are doing? You should be able to make the call.
Right.
And let everybody else in the house see what you're looking at. Now, at Grand Valley, they showed the one play for a split second. His knee was on the ground. They never showed it again because it made him look bad when he came out and said nothing was there to influence it.
And this is one of those where I don't think the official made a bad call. I just don't think he was in a position to see it. And they were too far apart. So the one trailing the play was too far apart from the one that was ahead of the play. And the one at the head of the play was 10 yards off the ball and shielded by the body.
Yeah, the guy that needed to make that call was the umpire or somebody in the middle of the field. Both officials that were on the sideline, his back was to them shielding him. So it had to be somebody in the middle of the field looking over to see it, and none of them did apparently.
I'm just not sure there was enough video evidence to overturn this. And given Phil Vigil's luck with challenges so far this year, this is new for Division II, by the way.
Yeah,
challenging.
First year. Well, while they're doing all that, we'll update you on the RMAC here. Western Colorado still leads Shattern 28-3. South Dakota Mines still up 28-0 over Highlands. Black Hills State, a second quarter lead over Mesa, 10-7. Fort Lewis and Adams State play tonight. Thunderbolts' next action is in Durango next week against Fort Lewis.
Decent crowd here today. We knew there would be. Mine travels pretty well. Good to see Csu-Pueblo following today. Got a few students. Last week there were none.
Yeah, there was zero nada last week, but they had Pack Fest going on, so they were all gearing up. I finally found where they're down here under the old Pepsi Cola umbrella looking at a little iPad type device. Which is to me kind of screwy. Can't you get a big screen? You can run an HDMI. There's a lot of things I'd complain about, Joe. I just try to use the logic in certain things.
Back to video review. The rolling on the field stand.
Yeah.
Csu-Pueblo charged for the first timeout.
So Thunderbolts are charged with the timeout. No video evidence to overturn it. Now, they didn't confirm it. They just said it stands. They didn't have enough evidence to overturn it. So it's first down and 10 from the 28-yard line. Sometimes, Joe, you see things at a ball game and you wonder why. Why? Nothing to do with the broadcast, but just something you see. First and 10 at the 28-yard line. Man in motion. They're going to hand it around the left side. Roper. No, they keep it by he faked me out, Joe, big time, didn't he?
Well, he not only faked you out, he threw the ball underhand.
That's what he did. He kind of flipped it, didn't he?
He flew it. He threw it underhand. It was a great little.
Completely fooled me going to the wide receiver McLeod there.
That was Mahomes-esque.
Wow. Gain of 6, second down and 4.
I see that play and I say, you saved that play for when you need it.
Yeah, why there?
There's a 6-yard gain in the middle of the first quarter, the end of the first quarter. You don't need that play there.
Look at the two big guys. They shift over to the right side of the formation. That got a tackle playing tight end or a slot back. They give it to Roper up the middle, short of the first down. Gets it down to the 20. It'll be 3rd down and 2 now for the Ore Diggers. They've got a big tackle type dude that's the extra blocker, and he lines up on the hip of either tackle. They've taken him out of the game now. Or no, he has stayed in the game. Looks like it's big number 69, or 65, Joe, who's like the extra blocker.
Well, and these tight ends remind me of Csu-Pueblo's old tight ends.
Yeah, it's Cole Johnson. He lines up in the tight end formation this time on the left side, so he's an eligible receiver. I wonder if he reported.
That means Matoka's going to take it the other way.
And they give it up the middle to Roper, and he bangs ahead for the first down to about the 17-yard line.
You see that a lot these days where you overload one side and you get single coverage on the other, and that's the way you go.
It's just a lot of beef out there. This is the second-ranked team in the country. A lot of people thought they might move up to number 1 because Ferris State lost last week, but it was to a Division I opponent in a tight ball game in Montana.
Yeah, how good do you think Ferris is to be able to play with Montana there?
Yeah, they're always a contender for the FCS title. Trips to the left. Patoka straight drop back. Here comes pressure. They flush him. There's a hold in the center of the field. Flag comes out. Patoka runs it inside the 10, inside the 5, and he's knocked down there, but it's going to be holding here on the Ore Diggers.
Yeah, I think everybody in the stadium saw it except one person. I don't know what you're conferencing for, Cecil.
Well, 2 flags in different spots, but we know what one of them is going to be. It's going to be a hold here on the left tackle for the Ore Diggers. Might be 2 guys calling the same penalty. Nope, 2 fouls.
Holding, number 60, offset. Kelly decline. Holding, number 66, 10-yard penalty, bring your spot.
Yeah, Nick Vandegraff says, well, why do you take mine? Well, it's because everyone saw that one. He was the left tackle. He was the first one that got flagged, and they called another lineman for holding in the center. So it's 1st and 20 now for the Ore Diggers.
The entire left side of the Ore Diggers offensive line was called on that, and it looks like they're kind of choking about it. But when you're up 14 on the road, you can.
Man, you got to save your quarterback's life. He's your meal ticket. Here's the handoff up the middle, nothing there. Monty Hamrick, just a little steer wrestling that time on Landon Walker, jumped right on his back and took him down.
Good to see Monty Hamrick getting some action. He's played well. He's kind of our guy last year for a few weeks.
Gain of 1 there, so it'll be 2nd down and 19 for Mines now. We're down to 30 seconds to go here, first quarter. Mines leads at 14-0.
Now just remember, down and distance mean absolutely nothing to John Matoka.
Trips to the left. Walker is the back on his left hip. Play action. They look left. Zip it out left side. High pass incomplete. Just tried to kind of a back shoulder-esque throw there, trying to get it up in the air to Sheely, but just a little too tall.
It was Isaiah Pittman in coverage on that time, and he was trying to take advantage of that size difference between Sheely and Pittman.
That is what's impressive about the Mines wide receiving core. They're all just long, and you can just throw it up, and they can just out-jump you for the ball. 3rd and 19 for the Ore Diggers. Matoka, he has Walker on his right hip. Trips to the left, single wide out right. Here comes pressure. Pass left side, incomplete. Good defense by the Thunderwolves. Good coverage down the field. And that'll force a field goal attempt here by the Ore Diggers.
That was good on good. That was intended for Max McLeod, one of the best receivers in the country. being defended by Corey McClellan from CSU Pueblo, one of the best safeties in the country.
So it'll be about a 45-yard attempt from the right hash mark. Kicker is Hunter Pearson. 2 for 2 on the year. He had a game winner in the first game of the year against Grand Valley. 41 is his longest kick of the year, so this would be his longest from 44 yards away. Ball on the right hash mark. Good snap, ball's down, kick is on the way, and it is good. So with 7 seconds to go here in the first quarter, Orediggers tack on a field goal, and they lead it 17-0 over the Thunderwolves. I guess the good news for the Pack is the field's going to flip here momentarily, and they'll have the wind in the second quarter. They're going to have to make hay with that wind, that's for sure.
The only bad news is Mines gets to kick off with the wind at their back one more time. So you're looking at their worst, your own 25-yard line for field position, and that has not been a good thing for CSU Pueblo today is field position.
Yeah, an injury for the Thunderwolves down here on the training table. Looks like Eli Pittman.
It is Eli Pittman. It looks like he's getting his ankle retaped. It didn't sound like he was too much pain. He just looks like he needed some reinforcement.
Well, his running mate in the defensive backfield, Daniel Bone, down there offering support. So Mines will kick it off here, leading 17-0. Well, these scores the last 3 weeks early in the game makes you long for the good old days, I guess, of Thunderwolves football. Man, oh man, this is tough to take right now. Here's the kick. Looked like Mines was offside there. They don't throw the flag, though. They just say, yeah, speed it. Oh, now a flag comes out.
That's going to be on Mines.
One of the Thunderwolves was decked in the middle of the field.
Yeah, Christian Pelusi just took a shot, I think. Unless they get CSU Pueblo and they saw the second one, which could happen.
Thunderwolves were all standing around with their hands outstretched. I said, what did you see there? The center judge threw it with enthusiasm, Joe, in that launch.
He got it up in the wind.
It's almost like he threw it not on my watch. Here's the call. They hand it to the right side. This is Roper. Oh, nice adjustment there. Gets to the sideline. He's got another first down. Boy, he just kind of picked his way along the line of scrimmage there and then got up the field. Noah Roper.
I would say that was really good vision on Roper's part because he was going to bounce it outside, cut it back to inside, and then went back outside.
Well, that's one way to operate into the wind. A little quick hitter on the left side, then run the ball. And it's already into Thunderwolves territory here at the 48-yard line. Mines leads it 17-7 with the ball. Roper adjusts the left hip. Now Matoka sprints to the left. Here comes pressure. Able to get away. He flips it sidearm, incomplete. Good coverage there, trying to get it to Zach Hoffman. Kind of a little sidearm throw. He does have a little Mahomes in him, doesn't he? He kind of plays it the same kind of manner.
But if you watch when he throws, his hips are turned. You know, he'll throw a sidearm. He's already thrown an underhand pass or a shovel pass, but he gets his hips turned, not so much his shoulders.
Second down and 10 for the Orediggers from the Thunderwolf 48-yard line. Toka looks left, now comes back right. Here goes pressure, he's blasted!
Dominic Finney!
He took that late look there, and that gave Finney time to get home.
Trying to go to Sheely again.
5-yard loss on the play. It'll be third down and 15. What a hit by Finney.
Yeah, Matoka hasn't been sacked many times in his career. He'll feel that one tomorrow.
Well, Finney might be one of those next level guys that the Thunderbolts have been able to produce through their short history since 2008. He's got that kind of body. Straight drop back by Matoka. They're pushing the pocket around, and they're going to not get to him. Ball's intercepted! They got pressure on him, and the ball picked off by Dixon.
Danya Dixon stepped in front of the throw and gets the pick. I don't know where he's going. Get off the field.
Yeah, this isn't the NFL where you run toward the cameras.
Yeah,
there's no camera
down
down
there. Get off the field. And look at Mines defense is already out there.
Well, they pushed the pocket right back in to Matoka. It looked like there was a hold again that time on Finney, who was trying to get home, but it altered the footwork of Matoka. He just couldn't step into it, allowed Dixon to step right underneath it. So the ball at the 45-yard line. Thunderwolves with the ball down 10. They give it up the middle. Now bouncing it is Martinez, and he stutters across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Picks up 1. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Thought they might stay with the hot hand there when Russell, his last carry was a touchdown, but they elect to go with their rotation. They give him forward progress to the 47, so it's 2nd down and 8 now for the Thunderwolves. Fuller from the gun, sends Dvorak in motion to the left. Here comes pressure up the middle. They pass the screen to Martinez, puts his head out, bounces off a tackler. He's got the first down, still on his feet, inside the 45, down to the 42-yard line. 1st and 10, Thunderwolves.
The little pinball wizard getting bounced around gets a 1st down.
Enthusiasm here in the stands now as the Pack starting to catch some fire.
It's amazing what positive yardage will bring you. The good fortune of your fans.
1st down and 10 from the 42. Dvorak in motion toward the formation. Straight drop back, now spinning away is Fuller. Passes up the left sideline. He had Rakowski and overshot him. He was wide open. Fuller could have run for 10 yards there.
I think they need to do more of that with Chance Fuller and his feet.
Well, I think they need to make him go. They need to, if it's there, he's got to start taking off a little bit to keep the defense honest.
Zach Rakowski was wide open in that play, but again, a lot of moving parts in that pattern.
So 2nd down and 10 from the 42-yard line of the Orediggers. Thunderwolves down 17-7, 12:02 to go here, 1st half. Russell is into the game. He's on the right hip of Fuller this time on 2nd and 10. They give it to him, and he's hitting the backfield. It's like he got into the ball game, and the Orediggers said, you know what, they put him in the game to run it, and that's the 2nd time he's been thrown for about a 5-yard loss in this game.
Well, they just bring more pressure from the offense. CSU Pueblo moved their 2 tight ends to the strong side, and Mines brought pressure from the weak side and got in the backfield right at the handoff.
So now it's 3rd and 15 back at the 47-yard line. Russell remains in there. They overload the right side. There's the defense here. That's where pressure's going to come from, the blind side. Fuller steps up, fires it right side. Retzlaff drops it. Had it momentarily, and then it was just separated. Good stick there by Mikey Barker, the nickelback in this formation on defense. So the Thunder will have to punt the ball away.
Junior out of Parker, Ponderosa High School.
So Thunderwolves unable to take advantage of the turnover, have to punt the ball away. Did get the one positive play on the screen pass to Martinez, but nothing after that. Thunderwolves adjusting their blocking backs here. Here's the Dad's punt. Angles it toward the left sideline. Hits inside the 5, high bounce in the air, bounces on the goal line and into the end zone by about a foot. That was so close to being perfect, but as it is,
it ends up being a 25-yard punt is all.
Yep, that's just not good. So 11:06 to go here in the 1st half. 17-7, Mines on top. Boy, you just get the feeling that was the Thunderwolves shot right there, Joe. Get a turnover, they can take it in and score anything. Get a field goal or anything, make it a game. Yeah. But now unable to do anything with it. Now Mines.
I did like the pressure they got on Matoka, and if I'm CSU Pueblo, I'm sending an extra guy. You know what? He's that good anyway, so why not?
Yeah. Yeah, why delay the inevitable?
Yeah, why not?
Maybe you get a shot on him,
Go
right?
get him.
So the ball's at the 20-yard line for the Orediggers. Remember, on a touchback on a punt, it comes out to the 20. On kickoffs, it comes out to the 25. That's one of the rule differences. Trips to the right. Walker is the back. They give it to him, and he cuts inside for about a yard is all. Thunderwolves defensive line starting to get into the ball game now, aren't they?
Yeah, they sent Wild Germano on a backside blitz. He just had to make sure he had to read the running back, make sure he didn't come to the near side of the field. Then crashed down.
Big Caden Shelton doing damage as well into the ball game. He's out of Bakersfield, California. 6'3", 245-pound junior. Straight drop back by Matoka. Looks right, fires right, and it is broken up. Good defensive play there by Pittman.
Well, and we saw Eli Pittman on the training table prior to this series just getting retaped, and he just took a ball away from All-American Max McLeod.
So now 3rd and 9.
You know, and if you've been following CSU Pueblo football for some time, you know they've never had size at corner. They've had good at corner and great. They've never had tall or big.
Yeah, maybe C.J. Roberts was the most big physical corner they've ever had.
They've been big at safety.
Here come the Thunderwolves rushing on to play. They got Matoka running for his life. Gets away. Pass is broken up. Good defense by the Pack. Again, you get Matoka. That time, not a design run, but he was able to make something happen. But the Thunderwolves defensive back staying home.
Yeah, and Dominic Finney was relentless on that play from his rush, from his defensive ends. Had him a couple of times in his grasp and just kept coming.
Now chance for Cook maybe to do something. He stands back at his own 38-yard line to receive the punt by Blake Dowd. Punt is away. It's a low kick.
It was touched. It was touched by one of the gunners. So that ball's going to be down at the 46-yard line.
So the Thunderwolves will take over there. You're going to mark it at the 45 where it made the first touch. So Thunderwolves with great field position here. 10:17 to go.
Cecil just called for timeout.
And, well, I don't know if we got our timeout straightened away yet. It says no breaks again. So it's going to be one of those broadcasts, Joe, where we just talk the whole day.
Like the first game where we talked for 3.5 hours?
The old board, and then I've also been told we have no highlights today, and my recording of the game shut off right before Howard Russell's long touchdown run. So that one's gone forever, Joe.
It's in our hearts, though.
Okay. I'll have to try to recreate that one, I guess.
It's in our hearts. Howard, you did a great run. It was wonderful.
Just goes without saying. I thought, we had a great show on Thursday, no problems. Show up today, thought there'd be no problem. Great tailgate, the sausage pockets from the Bonfilios and the Mexican food with the pesetas, unbelievable.
And at the Bonfilios, they had steak wrapped in bacon with Pueblo chilies. Steak bites.
I missed that. I can't believe I missed that.
Well, I ate a tray of them.
Okay, well, good for you.
So we're good.
Maybe there'll be something like that out at the Chili Fest tonight.
I doubt it.
Now, Joe, here's what. Now, maybe my email to everybody involved worked here because they were supposed to go 5 and under 5, under 10 on the timeouts, and I said that's kind of screwy when you have a chance to do it in that window between 10 and 11. And look at this.
The media timeout.
I'm going to take credit for that. I'm going to take credit for that on my email.
All right.
On my email suggestion.
Hey, I read all your emails, so have for a long time.
Well, Paul Plinsky once told me, he goes, your emails are kind of hard to write. So I tried to structure a little differently.
Because you're one paragraph
Yeah, I'm just kind of run it all together.
It's like it's rambling.
Yeah.
Jim's rambling.
Basically what I'm doing is rambling. So that one I tried to put a little separation into it.
I would say this is a key drive for CSU Pueblo.
Yeah, they're unable to take advantage of the interception with great field position. Now they have it on mine side of the field again. Down 17-7, 10-17 to go here, second quarter. Fuller looks like quarterback draw. He's going to run it. And he's got some room. He's close to the first down.
That was a design play.
We've been calling for it, Joe. The quarterback has got to run it once in a while to keep him honest.
He's got to slow down that pass rush is what he's got to do. They gave him 10 on that, right at the sticks.
So, 1st and 10, Thunderwolves at the 35-yard line. Fuller is not the most thick guy in the world, so you don't want him running it too often and taking a lot of punishment, but you still got to run it once in a while.
Well, Montoka's not very big either.
Left side. And Rakowski fights forward for maybe 2 on the play.
It's kind of a quick whistle by the head linesman, but maybe Zach Rakowski said thank you.
Yeah, self-preservation whistle.
A lot of guys flying in on that.
Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. Ball's at the 33-yard line of the Orediggers. 9:25 to go here, second quarter. Mines leads it 17-7. Thunderwolves working with the wind here in the second quarter. Russell into the ball game. He has the touchdown for the Thunderwolves. A beautiful 83-yard run. Straight drop back. Looking, firing over the middle. Caught at the 30. Not much there for Paulus. Did I say 83? It's actually an 87-yard, right?
You know, mine's is just sitting back in that too high safety zone. The middle of the field is wide open. I'm surprised they haven't gone to it more. Involved Luckadoo or Dvorak. Kind of poke at that middle of the field, just like they did with Paulus right there.
3rd and 5. Got to feel like it's 4-down territory here, even if they don't get a yard here. I think you got to go for it on 4th and 5. But hopefully they get it here and don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, this a little bit out of Willig's range, I would guess, but maybe with the wind.
And they pass up the left sideline for Cook, and it's incomplete. And Fuller saying, man, where's the flag? They knocked my helmet off, Mr. Referee. Now they talk it over. Are they going to call something? Maybe hit him under the chin with his helmet. They're talking it over. Are they going to throw the flag?
No, they won't, because Cecil Harrison's saying, nah, that was just a course of...
Yep,
yeah,
there it comes out. So a late hit. To me, it might have been a little helmet to helmet where you get up underneath the guy's chin and then you send his... But they wear the helmets so loose anymore, too. They tend to fly off a little bit, too. So I'd be ticked if I was a Mines coach over there right now. Personal foul. And the Mines player is incensed, as well you might imagine. Jack Peterson saying, man, what did I do? I just hit him. I can't help if his helmet's not strapped on tight.
Well, that was the break you were needed if you were Csu-Pueblo. You know, and I know Chance Fuller was under duress because that ball wasn't close to Cookie. But Cookie wouldn't have been eligible anyway. He stepped out of bounds.
So it's 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line for the Thunderwolves. Russell is the back. They shift the tight end. Dvorak to the right side of the formation. They give it to Russell, tries to bounce it outside, now back inside, and gets a yard is all. So it'll be 2nd down and 9.
A lot of work for one. But they ran to that strong side with both tight ends over there and only gained 1 yard.
So 2nd down and 9 for the Thunderwolves. Both Luckadoo and Dvorak in the ball game at the same time here.
Phil Vigil talking about Howard Russell say, if you can't bounce that one outside, it's blocked to go inside.
Thunderwolves have a physical advantage with Retzlaff over here on the shorter corner. Let's see if they throw a corner route here. Send a man in motion to the left side. They look left. Now they come back over the middle, fire to the back of the end zone, incomplete, trying to get it to Cook, but the ball sailed high out of the back of the end zone.
Now you wonder how much of that was wind underneath Fuller, but because that ball was not in the atmosphere for Cookie.
So now 3rd down and 9 for the Thunderwolves.
Jordan Jones in at tailback.
His job will be to block the blitzer here and give Fuller a little extra time. And a bad snap, gets away, but it bounces right up to Fuller. Here comes pressure, pump fake, and then he's hitting the head. And no face mask called. You can hear everybody on this side of the field wanting the face mask, but maybe you just got him up high around the headgear. So it's all the way back at the 33-yard line. Boy, I thought for sure the flag was going to come out there, Joe.
Well, he grabbed him by the back of the helmet. You get it on replay here. Way up on the Jumbotron, you're going to see him grab him by the back of the helmet, not the face mask. Csu-Pueblo going to call a timeout on this?
Well, I think they got to punt the ball away or maybe try a field goal. Let's see what they decide to do.
Play clock down to...
They're sending the punt team out.
Yeah, that's just a squandered opportunity right there with a bad snap. But again, we saw a bad snap with Matoka as well. They can take the delay here because that 5 yards is not going to matter.
Yeah, they just as soon punt it from the 38-yard line. Now the center judge finally comes in. You heard the whistle blow, but nobody came in.
Mine's celebrating like that's some sort of great penalty. You gotta love special teamers. This is their time to shine, so they're a little demonstrative.
So it's 4th down. If you want to know the yardage, it's 4th and 33. from the 38-yard line. Thunderwolves special teams pointing out the blocking assignments here. Haddad has it. Punt is away, and he's going to just boom that into the end zone. That's not a good punt. He kicks it out the back of the end zone. That didn't even come close to being what you needed there. So it's a net 18 yards is all. I mean, you got to just pooch that thing. And he's trying to tell the coaching staff what happened there, but when the wind's behind you and it's a jet stream, you don't send it high into the air, Joe. Even I know that.
Yeah, I hit the ball high though, Jim. So, but again, we go all the way back to Thursday night where Phil Vigil said his players need to do their job. So far, your punter has not done his job. Your defense, yeah, they have. I know it's 17-7, but
they've come up with a couple of big stops. They got a turnover, a couple of short fields for Orediggers. That goes like last week, a couple of short fields. It's tough to hold off when you're always in the shadow of the other team's goalposts. Here is the pass left side, and good closing speed there for the Thunderwolves.
Eli Pittman's making the stop on Max McLeod. Again, that's just a little pitch and catch, little 5-yard pass.
So 2nd down and 5 from the 25. 6:30 to go here in the first half. 17-7.
You know what?
Mine's on top.
Matoka does so good as the play fake, because you have to account for that. You know, that RPO, you have to account to it for the very last second.
They're going to run around the right side. Thunderwolves have this one strung out, and they're going to throw it for a loss. Flag comes down as well.
Corey McClellan, closing speed.
All the way back to the 18-yard line. We'll see what the flag's about here. Hopefully it's not a face mask of some type on the Thunderwolves lineman here. I'm thinking it's going to probably be a hold on Mines. Yeah, it is on the Orediggers. So you just decline that one. You take the down plus the yards lost all the way back to the 18-yard line. So it sets up 3rd down and 12. Fans starting to make some noise here on this side of the field. Matoka looks it over, trips to the left. Now he's going to change the play call.
See if they can get pressure on the quarterback here. Fire off the ball.
Roper is the back on the right hip of Matoka, bringing man in motion toward the formation. Straight drop back. Here comes pressure. They got Matoka bouncing around. Now he gets away, looks up the sideline, fires it. 1st down, Orediggers.
That is why he's John Matoka.
Nick Stone on the grab, but Matoka, he was orchestrating things there. Just told Stone, hey, move out toward the sideline, I'll hit you. Thunderwolves lost contain on the rush. They had a good push. And Matoka was looking for an escape route, and he found it. So 1st and 10, Orediggers out to the 33-yard line. Trips to the right this time, single wide out left. Now they change the play calls. They look over toward the sideline. They get it. Matoka going to roll the pocket right, fires it right. Ball caught out around the 40-yard line. That's Nick Stone again. It'll be a gain of 7, 2nd down and 3.
It's like a dance routine with Mines on that play. Everybody moving in unison to the right, and Matoka just fires a strike.
So 2nd down and 3, ball at the 40-yard line. 17-7, Mines on top, 4:40 to go here in the first half. Thunderwolves have had their chances here in the second quarter, unable to take advantage of great field position on 2 occasions. They could, in theory, have the lead in this game if they had taken care of business. And play action, pass left side. That's a running play. It was a backward pass, and the Thunderwolves defense it well. Backwards pass to Sheely. He was behind Matoka on the edge, and he goes down for a loss back to the 37-yard line.
Yeah, that's Donovan English. He's a freshman, Jim. He came from all the way. He went in motion with the receiver that time.
So now it is 3rd down and about 6 for the Orediggers. Ball is at the 37-yard line. They need the 43 for the 1st down. Thunderwolves make some substitutions. Micah Lutu into the ball game to play inside tackle formation. Scipio is poised to rush off the left edge. Here he comes. Pass over the middle, caught. 1st down. And that's the All-American wide receiver Max McLeod. Just a little turn-in pattern there, and Matoka threw a strike.
Well, that's Donovan English again was in coverage on Max McLeod, and you have a All-American wide receiver against a true freshman, and that time it was just position. Max McLeod had a 3-step or 4-step cushion on the freshman. We can't give Max McLeod doesn't need much, let alone 3 yards.
So 1st and 10 at the Thunderwolves 45-yard line. We're down to 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Ordigger's in no hurry, or they want to use some clock.
And this is all controlled now. Just controlled passes, nothing deep.
Here comes a safety blitz, and good play there for the Thunderwolves by Bone as he timed it just right. No gain on the play. As he hit down on the legs of Landon Walker right as he took the handoff.
Well, and Daniel Bone had to read that RPO. Matoka, he pulls the ball at the very last minute sometimes, and you get caught looking.
So 2nd and 10 for the Ordiggers. We're down to 2:25 to go. 20 on the play clock here, and the Ordiggers will use a bunch of it up here. 2nd and 10. Matoka looks it over. He brings Walker in motion toward the formation. Here comes pressure, but Matoka gets away, and there he finds his man up the sideline, and that is the running back Walker. And he's all the way down to the 36-yard line. He will be a yard short of the first down. So it'll be 3rd and a yard for the Ordiggers.
You get the running back on the linebacker, and if you're an offensive coordinator, that's what you want.
Under 2 minutes to go now as the clock runs. That's one of the new timing rules this year. Even when the ball goes out of bounds, they continue to run the clock. They're looking for little ways to speed up games. And now timeout is going to be taken by the Ordiggers with 1:46 to go here in the first half. I'll give the Ordiggers credit here, Joe. They've defense come up with a couple of stops. Of course, they were helped by the Thunderwolves launching that snap. Well, I don't know if it was high. It just got away from Fuller.
Yeah, it looked like it just kind of went up. I don't know if it was over his head, but it was through his hands, so above his head. So, these are just things you can't do against this caliber team.
Well, Joe, you got a score update for us. Why don't you give it to us?
Oh, I was just looking at the Prime show is suddenly coming to a screeching halt right now. They're down 35-0 in Oregon. And I've never been a bigger Ducks fan than I am today.
Oregon is good.
Yeah, and
they're really good.
No, and theoretically, what's ironic is this is the year that the Pac-12 is good.
Yes, when they're all going to.
When they're all going to go away, the Pac-12 is a really good football and dare I say, might be the best overall conference in the country right now.
I think so. You got
to be
even their bottom feeders are up there now. Oregon State, Washington State, pretty good.
They play each other today.
Yeah, that'd be a good fun game to watch.
But it's just one of those things. If you look about the landscape of college football, which would change completely, the Pac-12, which is imploding, they might have the best conference in football this year.
It's going to take a while, isn't it, just to figure out where everybody's at?
But you know what? I had this conversation with some people the other day. They asked me about it, and I said, I don't care what conference you play in because they all mix anyway. Yeah. I want to see matchups. I want to see Alabama play. I want to see the Iron Bowl. I want to see Georgia play. I don't care who they play. I want to see SC play Notre Dame. I want to see SC play Ohio State. I don't care what conference they play in. But whether you play in the Big 10, Big 12, Pac-12, I don't care. As long as you play your rivals. I mean, you take the Big 12 and now the ACC will have Stanford and Cal.
Yeah, go figure that out.
The ACC.
All right, 3rd and a yard. Ordiggers come back out to the line of scrimmage after using the timeout. Ball's at the 36-yard line, 3rd and 1. They're in Thunderwolves territory. Now the Thunderwolves make some massive substitutions here, but they're given time to do it. Now they're set to go. Toka takes the snap. And stumbling in the backfield and losing 2 yards. They gave it to Roper, and he was tripping before he even had the ball, Joe.
James Turntine was able to slip back there from underneath the entire pile and fall on the running back.
Another timeout. This one taken by the Thunderwolves because they want to preserve time to get the ball back here on 4th down, but the Orediggers now 4th and 4. They're going to go for it, I would think, Joe. I don't think you punt it in this spot on the field.
Well, you can, though, because now you just play defense and take a 10-point lead into the locker room at half. You don't want to give Csu-Pueblo any kind of field position.
Yeah, if you don't get it, it's a pretty big gamble here to go for it on 4th and 4. We'll see how the Orediggers approach it.
If I'm Oregon, if I'm the Orediggers, I punt the football here.
See what they decide. They're still talking it over there with no indication yet. Everybody grouped around, but it looks like the offense is heading off the field. Yeah, I see Matoga's got his helmet off. He's heading toward the bench across the way, so they're going to punt the ball away.
Yeah, I don't blame him, Jim. Too big of a gamble in a tight game. You know, if this is a blowout game, maybe, but this is too big of a gamble. Unless you got a really good fake. But I don't know if I'd use that here either.
Now the teams come back out onto the field. Thunderwolves have a lot of their base defenders still out there. I don't know if they quite realize yet. And now some of the players are signaling, hey, yeah, now the Thunderwolves are going to put their special teams unit out there.
Might have to call another timeout. They haven't started the play clock yet, so they're good.
So now they get Cook out there to return to punt.
You're not going to punt it to Andrew Cook, are you?
Yeah, they got to angle this one. Rugby style toward the right side. Well, it goes down the middle of the field, but it takes a Thunderwolves bounce into the end zone, or a Mines bounce into the end zone, which in turn makes it a Thunderwolf bounce.
Well, so you get 15 yards of field position for Mines on that play, which I think with the minute 37 to go is what you want.
And the punter for Mines is getting a little talking to over this. Is why do you kick it like that? Pooch it a little bit. When you kick it a low end over end job, it's going to take that bounce. Just got away from everybody.
He's a good punter.
So neither punter really doing themselves any favors here in this first half. So Thunderwolves take over at their own 20. They have a minute 37 to go. I think the Pack have, one timeout left?
They should have one.
Yeah, they used one on the challenge. Quick drop by Fuller goes wrong. His arm was hit.
Jim, that's where he's got to take off. You know, that whole field just parts, and you just got to take off.
Yeah, because everybody's in a wide rushing lane that time.
And both linebackers peeled. The middle of the field was wide open.
Now he's doing some calisthenics with his arm there. Got hit on that play a little bit. Brings Rakowski in motion across the formation. Fuller steps up, fires. We're in traffic. Good strike there, and it's going to be a gain of about 9. Probably Retzlaff, I think, on the ground.
Yeah, and that's the kind of throw we saw Chance Fuller make in weeks 1 and 2. Just confident, step into it on a dime, strike.
Now it's 3rd down and a yard, so the Thunderwolves taking a little time here. They're going to get a running back out there. That's the thing on 3rd and a yard. You got to have it. Now this is just it's kind of a no man's land here. If you don't make it on 3rd down, you don't want to give Mines time, but if you want to be positive, you got to leave as much time as possible to score. Pass to Cook, makes the first man miss, gets forward. He's got the first down by a yard. That'll stop the clock momentarily. Just long enough to get the ball put back in play. Then they'll wind it.
4 Mines players on Andrew Cook. He's the littlest guy on the field, and there were 4 of them on him.
Now the clock runs. We're down to 48 seconds to go. Thunderwolves not in position yet. Now they get set here on 1st and 10 from the 31. Fuller, straight drop back. Looks left, intercept. He threw it right into the arms of the linebacker, up the sideline. 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Just an awful, awful pass. Picked off by Jaden Healy, and he strolls into the end zone, and that's a game changer right there. And now the Thunderwolves down 23-7. That was just...
I'm not sure he saw Healy step down like that.
Man, that was just right into his hands.
Well, and the thing about Chance Fuller is when he makes mistakes, they aren't those kinds of mistakes. His decision-making has been his strength.
So now it's 23-7 with 32 seconds to go here in the half. Kick is up. It is good. 32 seconds to go here in the first half, and Orediggers score on defense to make it 24-7. So Thunderbolts, this is just a game of missed opportunities here in this second quarter, Joe. They got the touchdown on the last play of the first quarter to get within 10.
And that played great defense.
Had 2 possessions in Orediger territory, unable to score any points. And then, their defense comes up with a big stop there late in the half, and the offense just gives it all away there with that pick 6.
Yeah, that tilts the field massively. The emotion, the body language, it just sucks the life out of you.
Sucked the life right out of me, didn't it?
Yeah, you were.
that was just.
You were disappointed in that throw.
I just couldn't believe it. I mean, that's like handing it to it.
You might get a chance at a return here.
Yeah,
with
kicking
the wind.
into the wind. See how Mines approaches it here. Do they squib it or do they try to kick it deep? If you try to kick it deep, the ball's going to hang up. And should be a chance for the return here. Russell and McGarity back deep.
But your up backs are a backup tight end and 2 linebackers.
See how the Orediggers approach it. They hit a long sky kick. Fair catch taken.
And maybe that's to preserve time because he had a chance to take it to get a running start on that. But
so it'll be at the 25-yard line. I mean, even if you go into the locker room, you don't do anything, and you're down 17-7, you still have that faint ray of hope. But now you have, now it is faint.
Well, now this is where you wish you had your Nigel Mitchell speedster that you could just send on go routes and, stretch the field. Csu-Pueblo's got some very good receivers, but none of the burner types that can go get it on a streak route.
And they're going to run the ball up the middle to Martinez. Nice move there. He gets out to the 34-yard line. Picks up 9. It'll be 2nd down and 1. Thunderbolts go hurry up here, but time getting away from him down to 20 seconds. They do have 1 timeout left. And Fuller, he wanted to go left, but the wide receiver had taken off up the field. There was nobody there, so then he just threw it into the turf up in the middle of the field.
Yeah, both receivers, it was going to be one of those little wide receiver screens, or at least that's what he thought, and they left him.
Down to 15 seconds to go.
There's no intentional grounding. There's not even close to that.
Why do you even have to make that explanation? Hand the ball up the middle. Martinez spins out of 1 tackle. He's got the 1st down. That'll stop the clock momentarily with 9 seconds to go. So the Thunderbolts move the chains. Now the ball was placed on the wrong hash mark. It was placed on the high school hash mark instead of the college hash mark. Now they wind the clock. 6 seconds to go. They hand the ball up the middle to Martinez and puts his head down. Gains about 8. And that'll do it for the first half. So 24-7 is our halftime score. The Thunderwolves down 17 here. And of course, back at iHeart, the board is on meltdown today, so
is Benny going to do a show for us?
He might do a little bit for us here in a little bit. I don't know if we'll be able to hear him the way things are going there, but if you need to take up, maybe we'll tag team off. We'll practice our solo work.
I'm good right now. It's halftime at Colorado, Oregon, and the Ducks are up 35-0.
Boy, Thunderbolts haven't even, the Buffaloes haven't even threatened to score yet in that game, have they?
I just had a friend of mine who also went to Colorado State saying he's writing a check to the alumni of the University of Oregon right now. So
we do have one final in the RMAC today. South Dakota Mines has defeated New Mexico Highlands 42-7. Another final. Western Colorado defeated Chadron State 35-17. So give credit to the Eagles. They made a little bit of a run there in the second half. They were down 28-3 at one point to Western Colorado. In progress, Black Hill State fourth quarter now leads Mesa 19-14. And Adams State and Fort Lewis, they go a little bit later tonight. Mentioned last night, Air Force defeated San Jose State. Joe gave you the Oregon-Colorado score. I got to hit my old refresh here on my computer to get the scores updated. Yep, there it is, 35 zip.
Joining us from
Other scores from the, well, we're looking at all college football scores. We don't want to do that. We want to go to the top 25. So give me a second here. This is the kind of stuff, folks, I do when we're in commercial break, but we're going to do it on the fly here.
Yeah, we can tell you about all you want. Alabama's losing to Mississippi right now. Utah's 14-0 over UCLA. I thought that might be a little bit better game than that.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Tennessee's crushing Texas San Antonio. The Canes up over Temple. Michigan won big. Florida State goes into Clemson, wins 31-24.
Darn, I picked Clemson in that game on the old pick'em. I thought Clemson. Yeah, that's a coach there.
What he's lost is all his players in the NFL.
Yeah, exactly. That hurts.
You got to kind of reload a little bit, but they're Oklahoma won big.
Yeah, I got my scoreboard up here. Duke leading UConn. Duke surprisingly pretty good in football all of a sudden here the last couple of years. They're up to 18th in the country.
Be that good in football and basketball?
Yeah, exactly. I think you gave the Miami score. Yep, there's the Utah score. Tennessee, there's that UTSA, Texas San Antonio, right? Oklahoma over Cincinnati. You mentioned that was kind of a surprisingly low-scoring ball game. They're at Nippert Stadium in Cincinnati. Joe, did you know their stadium was named Nippert?
I did not.
And Florida State, to win that game, got a touchdown in overtime to win it, 31-24. It was 24-24 at the end of regulation. So that's one of those bad beat things. You got it.
Yeah.
I think it was a 2-point spread though for Clemson, if I remember right. Michigan over Rutgers. Rutgers trying to get better in football.
They
3-1 this year.
Area.
Yeah, they got to start getting more rugged, don't they? Games tonight. You mentioned that Oregon State, Washington State. That ought to be a pretty good ball game. That may be one to take in. Of course, the big game tonight on the tube on Here Comes Saturday Night. Peacock. I love that promo. Ohio State and Notre Dame in South Bend. I thought it would be an easy type pick to take Ohio State, but Notre Dame's a little bit better this year, and Ohio State might not be quite as powerful as in the past. Is that easy to say that? So Notre Dame maybe with a shot in that ball game tonight. They're the 9th-ranked team. Ohio State is the 6th-ranked team. Penn State and Iowa, that's another big game in the Big Ten tonight, as they are playing that one in Beaver Stadium.
They just showed a clip from the halftime at the CU-Oregon game, and the Oregon coach Lanning said, I hope all those people that have been watching the last 2 weeks are watching today.
Yeah, exactly.
She asked about Bo Nix. He goes, he's an elite quarterback.
Yes, he
is.
I
hope all those people who have been watching now see an elite quarterback. So I think his
taking a shot at the other quarterback.
His pregame speech has gone viral. I guess he had words for the nation, kind of like what I had all week last week. So,
how's Arizona State? Not very good, right? They play USC
they're not
tonight.
Very good. They're not very good.
So that's the old Pac-12 after dark game tonight on
something to watch, though. But I mean, the game of the night tonight is Ohio State Notre Dame, correct?
Yeah, got to be to watch that one. But you know what? I'm going to the Chili Fest.
I'm not sure we'll get out of here by then. These 3-hour games.
Yeah, it is turning into just a long, slow slog, isn't it? The way some of these games go. And Thunderbolt's band is outperforming here at halftime. It is band day here. This might be one of the high school bands.
That looks like it's Pueblo Central High School.
It is Pueblo Central. So on band day, they let the high school band perform. What's up with the red uniforms on Central Flag Girls, though, Joe?
Well, I think it's a mixture of other bands too.
Okay.
So I don't know that that's the case, but I think Central, from what I heard, I didn't look at Max. Perhaps you might be able to do that. They beat County this week, so now they've beaten Easton County. Bell game's in 2 weeks, and they end with South. Chris Cotterman, the former Centennial Bulldog and grandson of Jim Grieve, is coaching the Wildcats, and got a little thing going on over there on Norman. And then I had to send a text to Ryan Goddard this morning. Ryan, we did a lot of Ryan's games. We did a lot of Ryan's games when he was a player,
right?
And as assistant coach under Mark Herring, and as a head coach for the Colts. And they hadn't won a game this season, which I was surprised at. And they go out and win the Cannon convincingly.
And we kind of kidded about it, Joe, before we went on air. That's the first time I've actually purchased a ticket and gone to a high school football game since probably 1980.
And you went at halftime.
And I went in at halftime, and it was the right time to show up. It was, I think it was 13-6, I think, at halftime.
No, I watched a
and
little
South
bit of
rolled them, and this quarterback played well. Plus, they kept turning it over. East did.
the online broadcast, and good for Ryan. And hey, we've been through some Owen seasons for the Colts, but not many. We've also seen them run the table about 5 or 6 times in a row. So
Yeah, exactly. And but it was fun just being out there and actually being a fan. Just able to cheer a little bit. We have you can't cheer when you're in the press box.
No, and
although we were accused of it at times. But.
And I'm gonna miss the Bell game, which my niece Katie Cunningham is part of the induction of the 2017 Thunderwolf women's basketball team, which was a fun team to watch and a fun team to cover.
That's right. That is the same night, isn't it?
It's the same night. Ryan Jensen from Csu-Pueblo, who plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is getting inducted as well. They had a little. Katie and Ryan are good friends. Katie's brother Jimmy is one of Ryan's best friends, and she was hoping to get in before Ryan, but they're going in together.
Notice Pueblo West won last night against the Far Northeast Warriors.
Yes.
What is that?
I believe that's. No, it's a former high school that they combined.
Okay.
But Pueblo West plays their home games here at the Thunderbolt.
Don't they? They just about have the stadium done, I think.
Yes, but they
They're
played
close.
here last night. I know.
Yeah. Central did beat County last night, 43-20. Good for the Wildcats.
That's a big win for Central.
And of course, South defeating who's? I don't know. Oh, it's Wayne Gordon joining us in the booth here live. There's no breaks today, Wayne, so we're just live for the whole broadcast. So there'll be no chance to chat it over with you. But once again, a nice crowd last night at Dutch Clark Stadium, and
how about the
they've
lights?
done a lot of.
How about the new lights?
It's kind of weird though. It's really lit on the sides, but in the center of the field, a little dark.
Yeah.
They needed one extra thing, but they turn them on, and if you've got what's the affliction you have when you lock up?
Tremors? I don't know.
Well, when you see flashing lights, when it throws you into a spasm or seizures.
Seizures, yeah.
Yeah, so if you could get that with the way the lights go off like that. But not a big fan of the lights the way they're kind of like, it's like Edward Scissorhands in each end zone.
Right, but they're bright.
They're bright, but they're bright in the corners, not bright in the center of the field.
They were probably donated by somebody that put like $1 million in. Jim don't like them.
Look, Joe, it's the Magic 8-Ball out here.
It is.
What is up with that?
That's a great prop. This is when I would be a band dad, and they said we want you to trot out the Magic 8-Ball.
Is this when we're going to decide which song we're going to play next? Is that what the band's trying to decide here?
I love it though. I love the commitment to the prop.
All right, I'm interested to see what happens here. Division II top 25 scores today. We already mentioned that Western Colorado defeated Chadron. Western came in this week ranked number 20 after their victory last week. Central Missouri, 25th ranked team in the country, defeated Washburn 58-28.
You ever been to Washburn?
No, I haven't.
It's a great college.
The Ichabods, right?
Yeah, in Topeka. It's a neat looking university. They're usually pretty competitive and everything.
Well, they used to be in that old basketball conference with
CD,
then USC.
Yeah.
And you had Fort Hays, you had Pitt State, you had Emporia State Teachers College, it was called at that time.
It's a good-looking little university. Topeka, not a bad drive from here.
Speaking of Pittsburgh State, the number 3 ranked team this week, they lead Kearney 26-7 in the fourth quarter. Joe, we always like to check on Slippery Rock. They're 12th ranked this week, and they lead Seton Hill 35-14, fourth quarter score.
Our goal is to one day call a Csu-Pueblo Slippery Rock game.
That would be fun. Angelo State and Western New Mexico, they play later on tonight, as does Ouachita Baptist against Arkansas Monticello. Delta State and Shorter later tonight. Henderson State and Harding. A lot of night games tonight. This should be a fun one. West Florida playing host to West Georgia. Lenore Ryan is her finals now. Defeated Carson Newman. Davenport over William Jewell. Davenport, the 18th ranked team this week. We mentioned Emporia State. They're 10th ranked this week. Their football program suddenly catching fire.
Well, that MEAC, they don't mess around.
They win today 38-27 over Central Oklahoma. IUP over Mercyhurst. Now, what does IUP stand for, Joe?
Indiana University at Purdue.
Or is it Pennsylvania?
Or at Pennsylvania. I don't know. It's Indiana University.
P is for...
It's something. No, that's IUPU.
Okay. All right, Minnesota State, former playoff opponent of the Thunderwolves, they blast Concordia today, 42-10. UIndy, another former playoff team, they defeated Saginaw Valley today, 35-10.
The Greyhounds.
Upset in Division II ball today. Shepherd, we watched them last year. Remember on the television?
We did, because it was a key opponent.
Yeah, Kutztown State defeated Shepherd. Kutztown, they always have a little NFL connection from time to time. Get a player that sneaks through there. Truman State, surprising how good they are this year. They're 24th in the country. They defeated Wayne State, Michigan, 41-7. Now, I mentioned Wayne State because I was watching, that's where the strike is, or one of the plants. I remember seeing somebody in Wayne, Michigan yesterday. And we have Wayne in the booth. It's like a Wayne flavor here.
You know, and you mentioned West Georgia, former Csu-Pueblo opponent here in the playoffs. They're going Division I, playing that conference down there. I'm surprised at that because they haven't really set the bar at Division II. But it's not about how competitive you are. It's about how much money you can have.
Well, Joe, let's look at the first half numbers. Mines, 12 first downs. Thunderwolves was 6. 63 on the ground, 170 through the air, 233 yards total offense for the Orediggers. Thunderwolves better on the ground this week, but of course,
they got 87 yards.
87 was on one run. So the others, 14 carries for 79. That means the other 13 carries, net -8.
Yeah, well, it's just sack yardage.
Yeah, I guess, well, in that one that lost,
Correct.
25 yards on the bad snap. I guess that goes on the rushing yards. Only 45 through the air for the Thunderwolves, 124 yards total offense. Time of possession, 16:38 to 13:22 in favor of Mines. Orediggers held to 3 of 8 on third down, so the Thunderwolves doing a pretty good job there. Thunderwolves, though, only 3 of 9 on third down.
Well, and it's been field position, too. Look at the punt average.
Yeah. Here we go on individual numbers. Roper, 8 carries for 23. Does have a touchdown. Walker, 7 for 20. Matoka, 2 for 20. For the Thunderwolves, Russell, he had 4 carries for a net 77 yards. Looks like they've changed his touchdown run now to, well, it's funny. Now on the stat sheet, they got his long run of the day. Nope, that's right. Okay, never mind. They got his long. It's correct. So 4 carries for a net 77. So he had 87 on the run. His other 3 carries -10.
Well, he got hit behind that on that one that he tried to get away from. And
Keon, 6 for 26. Soto, 2 carries for 7. Fuller credited for 2 and a -31. Of course, that's the sack yardage. Receiving the ball, McLeod, 5 for 53. Stone, 3 for 30. Flynn Sheely. Flynn is his first name. That's the first time I've ever seen somebody named Flynn. Kind of tells me he comes from money.
Flynn Sheely.
You know, you wouldn't be from Besper and name a kid Flynn, would you?
Not if you want him to not have to fight every day.
Exactly. So 2 catches for 37.
Toughen him up.
Landon Walker, 2 for 13. For the Thunderwolves, Retzlaff, 2 for 13. Cook, 2 for 5. Martinez, 1 for 12. Soto, 1 for 6. Defensive numbers. Alexander with 5 tackles. Reeve with 4. Healy and Sutter with 3 each for the Orediggers. Nushi with 7. McClellan with 6. Bone and Finney with 3 apiece. Finney does own that sack. That was a big-time sack that he put on Matoka.
And he could have had 2 others. But you know what? It's John Matoka.
Yeah, he did get away. He didn't disappoint in that first half, did he?
But
you know when the Thunderwolves put a little pressure, I got a little skitterish
as
there.
Any quarterback would.
Yeah, exactly.
If you make them play a little bit, and you know, I mean, you got to make them uncomfortable, because if they're comfortable, they'll stand back there and pick you apart.
Now we'll see what happens here in this third quarter. Of course, Mines will get the ball first. I would think the Thunderwolves will take the wind here in this quarter and try to they got to make something happen here early on. That touchdown just late in the half, Joe, just took all the little element of doubt out of this ball game. If Mines is in complete control now, up 24-7, even if you go into the locker room down 17-7, you still have that, you know what, hey, let's just rally, make a stop. We got the win. We'll get down there and score. But now that extra score, it just punishes you.
Yeah, it hurts you.
You had field position inside their territory twice with the win there in that second quarter. Didn't do anything with it, and then you throw the pick
Yeah.
6. So it might sound like a stretch, but really the Thunderwolves, you could argue, should have the lead here at halftime if they'd have taken care and taken advantage of their opportunities presented.
Again, you said it perfect. We thought that they could play with this team, but you have to take advantage of the chances you get, and they have not. The one score they have was a great individual effort by Howard Russell, but they've had their opportunities. They've been inside my.
Yeah, that's what you hang your hat on. That's what you're going to argue.
Yeah, and when you're in the room, you're going to say, okay, does the RMAC deserve 3? And one of them, say Csu-Pueblo's on the cusp. What you look at their credibility, they've been a playoff perennial team and a national champion in the last 10 years. So they got that cred, I think. But I'm a little bit biased.
But playing the way they're playing.
Yeah, but
something's going to happen. They're going to stumble on another. They got to shore up their own
playing the way they're playing, but against the caliber. Yeah. I mean, you can't play. Can you play like this against a Fort Lewis? Yeah. Should you know? And will it hurt you? Maybe. But you can't play. You almost have to play perfect, not above your head, but you have to take advantage of our opportunities, like when you play a school like mine.
What it does do is make you have to be perfect. The rest of the year in all ways, not only just winning games, but you just got to start, being better about yourself.
Well, and it'll start next week at Fort Lewis. Not that it's over yet. I mean, this is not out of the question, but you got to play a lot better than you did the first half.
Mines is coming out onto the field. They'll return this kick here. Thunderwolves will be playing with the wind here in this third quarter.
Ironically, the wind has not died down or changed directions. It's been the exact same the entire game, which I think is unusual for this place.
Thunderwolves doing a lot of dancing on the sideline. I just noticed Mines, they don't do a lot of dancing, Joe.
No.
They just play.
They study and win. That's what they do. They study and win.
I'm all for feeling good and having a good time, but it just doesn't look good when you're down 17 to be down there dancing.
Well, and I look at Mines, they beat Grand Valley.
Yeah.
Grand Valley's a good program, and Mines beat them. Granted, it was in Golden, but they beat them.
Here's the kick. And that will sail out the end. You know what I've noticed in college football now? They just ignore offsides on the kicking teams.
Well, especially if it's going to be a
speed up rule. It's like an in the neighborhood play.
If it's a touchback, what the heck? That doesn't mean. Evan Lyons was going to go get the kicking tee, and that kid's like, that's my job.
Yeah, get out of there.
Leave it. That's my job. Kids probably work all week. They win a contest to be the kickoff tee kid, and they get their name on the Jumbotron. And
then you got the kicker doing your job for you. All right, here we go. Matoka brings the Orediggers out. It'll be a double wide out left, single wide out right. Not quite their heavy package. They ran a lot there in that first half. And they're going to give it to Roper, and he cuts inside, and he gains a couple on the play. Good stick there. Nushi coming up to finish him off. Somebody had him down around the ankles.
It was Nushi had him down around the ankles. It was the freshman from Texas, Heidenberger, that cleaned his clock.
They give him 3 out to the 28. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Orediggers. They lead it 24-7, 14:35, just underway here in the third quarter. Matoka, empty backfield this time. Trips left. He looks right, fires right. Ball caught short of the first down. Nick Stone on the grab out at the 33. So it'll be 3rd down and 2. Thunderwolves defense been pretty good today in 3rd and short against the Orediggers.
Matoka coming out. Looks like they're going to run a Wildcat package.
That means Landon Walker will probably take the direct snap. So this is a little different wrinkle. Walker will take the direct snap. He has Chris Yu with him in the backfield. He's going to run the follow play around the left side and puts his head down, breaks a tackle into the secondary, and he's going to score. 40, 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Orediggers.
Landon Walker had a little bit of separation speed at 6'2", 225.
Flag is down here at the 18-yard line. What do we have here? Maybe a sideline warning when they were celebrating up the sideline, probably.
They might have already had one, though, too.
The result of the play is touchdown. Sideline warning.
Yep.
Colorado goal line.
Sideline warning on mine.
I thought they had one earlier in the game, though. Once you get one.
Guess not.
That was just poor tackling by the Thunderwolves. And the Band-Aid crowd needs a Band-Aid right now.
Extra point try upcoming here for Hunter Pearson. Ball's down, kick is up, and it is good. 13:46 to go here in the third quarter. It's now 31-7 Orediggers. So we just got through mentioning how good the Thunderwolves today had been on third down and short. Well, then they give up the home run on without Matoka being even on the field. Just a direct snap to Walker, and probably the most simple play in the world you can run, Joe. You just snap it to him, run around the left end.
Absolutely. And again, a hard run by Walker, though. I mean, he broke free to get himself in the clear, and then he turned it on. You want to score from Oregon?
Sure.
41-0.
Nice.
And 9 minutes to go in the third. Love it.
Well, the natives definitely restless, Joe.
Well, Jim, it's just
not used to seeing this.
No, and it's not just losing; it's how you're losing. It's sometimes it's effort and sometimes it's ability. Right now, that play they had snuffed out. It was a 3rd and 2. It was they had a chance to knock it down.
Here's the kick. High kick angled left side taken. Look out, here we go. Chance for the return up the left side. That's the touchdown maker for the Thunderwolves. Howard Russell on the return gets it all the way out across the 40 to the 42-yard line.
That time, no fair catch. I'm going.
Yeah, exactly. Made a good decision.
Yeah,
I'm
going.
Up on it. And good head of steam, and then sprinted toward the sideline and turned the corner.
We haven't seen Stevie Kroll, and Phil Veal said that he would have a package in this week, or every week. I should say.
So 1st and 10 for the Thunderwolves from their own 42. They trail it 31-7, 13:39 to go here, third quarter. Lucky do it in motion. Now resets on the right side. They give the ball up the middle. Martinez bounces outside. He's got an opening. Nice cut inside. He's got the first down into Orediger territory down to the 45-yard line. Picks up 12.
Jaden Williams, the redshirt senior safety, just whiffed on the tackle for Mines. Nice run by Keon Martinez.
Actually 13 on the play, so 1st and 10 to the 45-yard line of the Orediggers. Fuller again from the gun, has Martinez on his right hip, gives it to him again, and pinballs his way down to the 40-yard line. I'm going to say his knee was, we'll call it the 40 anyway. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5.
Running hard, Keon Martinez.
Fuller comes up on the line of scrimmage, barks out the play. And he's going to give it to Martinez again. This time he's stuffed. Gravano was in the ball game that time for the Thunderwolves, lined up at the left wide receiver position. They're going to send in the backup quarterback here, Stephen Kroll, here on 3rd and 5 from the 40. That gives the Thunderwolves a little run-pass option here. Also get Russell in there.
This is where you're going to have to let Stevie throw the ball because they bring him in and everybody keys run. So, he's very capable. Plus, he's left-handed.
Double tight end set, but they're actually unbalanced to the left side here. They give it to Russell up the middle, and that is not very much creativity. But look at Russell fight and struggle. Gets forward for a couple on the play. They had him snuffed out for a yard loss, but he somehow ends up gaining a couple. So it's going to be 4th down and 3.
You got to go for it at this point in the game. It's all go now.
They leave Kroll out there for the moment. There was only one wide receiver in the set that time, and it was Retzlaff wide to the right. They stay with the same formation, the double tight end set. unbalanced to the left. Actually, 3 tight ends in the game at the same time. As Colton Rose is into the game. He lines up on the left slot. And now it's going to be Kroll on the keeper. Puts his head down. He's into the secondary. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Thunderwolves.
Little Stevie and the disciples of Kroll.
Boy, that opened up beautifully for him, and he sprinted it on into the end zone.
We've been saying for weeks now the quarterbacks need to run the ball a little bit, Jim. Keep that defense honest. Look at that. Touchdown.
That was a powerful run that time by Kroll, and he shows a little burst as he got into the secondary. So Thunderwolves back into it. 31-13. Thought they might go for 2 right here, but they elect to kick. Ball's down, kick is up, and it's good. And Joe, of course, the reason I say you go for 2 there, it makes it a 16-point game. Now it's a 17-point game. You've still got to score 3 times. If you get it to 16, 2 touchdowns, 2 2-point conversions. But as they say, it's a little too early to start chasing the points.
It is, and you don't really want to stifle your own momentum.
Exactly. If you go for 2 there and you miss it, then you feel like, oh,
yeah,
you
just kind of just stifle it a little bit. And
I hear you.
You're looking for feel-good moments.
The last thing you want to do to your feel-good is destroy it yourself.
Don't rain on my parade myself right now.
Well, so that was a nice drive of the Pack. And good to see Stephen Kroll. You know, even Phil Vigil said it. He said Kroll's been an excellent teammate. You know, you lose your job last year, early on in the season. He would have been, if anybody was going to go to the transfer portal, maybe it would have been him. You know, just I'm ticked off, I'm going to go somewhere else. But you know what? He said, I'm going to stay.
Then you bring in the transfer.
Yeah,
and he takes your job.
Take your job. So, but good on him. Stick around.
Quick story, Thankful Thursday, this is what they call it. And Chance Fuller, one time, everybody has to pick a teammate and tell them why they're thankful. And Chance thanks Stevie for making him a better football player.
Here's the kick. Low line drive, angled out the back of the end. Did he get out of bounds? Yes.
He did.
Out the end zone.
He went back for the tee.
Yeah, exactly. Let the little man get it. Number 7 in blue. Look at that sprint, Joe. He's across the 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20.
That's good wheels right there.
Now, I was making it sound like he was slow, but he was angling across, folks.
It's 42-0 now. They made the extra point.
All right. Man, they got to try to put up a touchdown, don't they? Don't the Buffs?
No,
I mean, that's the old all-time letdown.
And then
they get SC next week.
Correct.
But they get SC and Boulder. Maybe that'll be the difference. Here's a pitch around the left side, Roper, and gets forward. Well, looks like an illegal block there on Mines. They're
you
late.
Can't go low like that.
A little block in the back is what it looked like to me, but evidently that's okay. 2nd down and 7 from the 28-yard line. Look at the mass substitutions by the Thunderbolts. They bring in 5 players. But they're allowed to do so because Mines substituted, so now the Thunderbolts can adjust. Now the Orediggers will change the play.
Coach Foskey, the defensive coordinator, is animate about this call. He knows what's coming.
Ball deflected.
Nice.
Get your hands up along the line of scrimmage. That's good.
That's Dominic Finney again. Playing a heck of a game, Jim. We've called his name a lot today.
Well, I think that's one of the things, a point of emphasis should be for the defensive lineman. If Matoka's going to stay in the pocket, you got to be ready to get your hands up because he's not the tallest guy in the world, only 5'11". Trips to the right this time. Single wide out left here on 3rd and 7 for the Orediggers. Now they'll change the play call up here.
The signal here is hammer. Does that mean send them?
Pass is behind the receiver, but he makes a great adjustment to catch the ball there. Man, what a catch indeed that was by Flynn Sheely. That ball was behind him, but it somehow snagged it.
He used all of his 6'4" frame to get that and the long arms.
Well, that's definitely a point of emphasis for Mines recruiting, isn't it? You got to be 6'2", 6'3", and with some wheels
and
great hands.
That's all.
Here's the handoff up the middle. Thunderwolves showed a blitz that time by McClellan. He got down around his ankles, but give credit to the interior line that time for getting him on the ground for the Thunderwolves. Looked like Sampleton as well in there.
Nushi and Sampleton, they were able to get it, but like you said, Corey McClellan coming off a blitz, had to read that RPO just a split second.
2nd down and 9 from the 42-yard line. 31-14, Orediggers on top, 9:40 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Split to the right is McLeod. He's kind of in a slot to the right. Now he goes in motion across the formation to the left. Resets, might have been illegally in motion. They don't call it. Pass up the left side, back shoulder throw. He's got it for the 1st down inside Thunderwolves territory down to the 40. Joe, I mean, it's become the Canadian Football League in a lot of respects. In football, they just don't call illegal motion anymore. These guys are running toward the line of scrimmage. That's illegal.
Yeah,
it's against the rules, but they don't call it.
But how good a back shoulder throw was that? Pittman was still running with his back toward the quarterback when McLeod stopped. That's two guys that played a lot of football together, McLeod and Matoka.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line of the pack. Send the tight end in motion to the left side. He resets. Matoka straight drop back. Fires it left. Ball caught out in the flat by Roper, the running back. He's blasted out of bounds over there by Nushi. Nushi made him pay for it. Gain of 6 down to the 39-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 4 for the Orediggers. They lead it 31-14. 8:29 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Here comes that substitution package by the Thunderwolves. They send 5 different players into the game here.
Matoka's using all these underneath routes. Middle of the field is wide open.
Takes the snap. Looks right over the middle. Caught. And ball loose. And still loose. Thunderwolves have it, I believe, here.
They do.
As McLeod made the grab, but he tried to get second effort there, and the ball was ripped out of his hands, and the Thunderwolves get it on the recovery. And it's the freshman,
Gary Seidenberger, comes up with the ball.
So the Thunderwolves force a turnover. So there's a little life here. So now they have to do what they weren't able to do in the 2nd quarter. They got to take advantage of these breaks.
They've had them.
Yeah, you're right. The prescription has been there for the Thunderwolves.
Yeah.
They just haven't taken the medicine here in this game.
They've had them. They've had their chance. They've had the 1st quarter notwithstanding. They've had field position. They've created turnovers. I think the defense has played well. There's a timeout, and I don't know if CSU burned a timeout already. No, Mines did.
So
they looking to challenge this? They did challenge this.
They want it to be an incomplete pass, I'm sure. They're going to say McLeod never secured the grab is probably what they're going to argue here. But it looked to me like he made a football move. He was starting to run, and the ball was ripped out of his hands.
Like you said, they're challenging the ruling of a catch.
So we need anybody that's listening to us now, because they don't show the replays. We don't have a monitor. So we need people that are maybe somebody who's watching the game online but listening to us, maybe can text us that knows us, to let us know whether they have an argument here. But to me, it looked like in live speed, McLeod had the ball. He's a very sure-handed receiver and made a football move, and then the Thunderwolves reached in and stripped him. Mines is hoping that maybe he bobbled a little bit, and that's the reason the ball came out, and they'll keep possession of the ball here. So I guess we find out here if it's clear and convincing.
In the number 2 position was Mr. Martin.
Interesting that they would challenge that. You know, I mean, of all the things that you would challenge, that's interesting to me. That Mines would burn their challenge on that particular play.
Was the U.S. Air Force avionics technician on F-15s and F-22.
Well, Joe, we get texts throughout the ballgame. This is nobody texting. My sister's actually texting in, and since we have a moment here, she wants to know what is an RPO.
Run pass option.
That's what it stands for. So the quarterback has the option whether to run it, he can hand it off, he can run it, or he can pass it. So that's why you call it a run pass option. So a lot of times you'll see him stick it in the belly of the running back, right? Sometimes he'll pull it out, or sometimes he'll pass.
And they'll run in unison. There's John Matoka's as good as there is when it comes to RPO, because he'll actually hand the ball off and then take it back.
Yeah.
He's that good.
And then we've seen him in this game when he fooled me with the shovel pass off the when they had the jet sweep action. Now, jet sweep means when you bring a wide receiver across the formation and they time it up where you can hand it to him and run it around the edge.
Looks like the defense is going back out there.
Here's the ruling.
After video review, the ruling on the catch has been overturned.
Oh, they overturned the catch. They overturned the play. They say the Mines receivers who never dropped the ball did not make the catch.
He must not have had it fully secured there. To me, it looked like he made a football move, Joe. It looked like he stuck his foot in the ground, was trying to turn up the field, and the ball was ripped. So maybe he hadn't quite put it away. But of course, we're flying blind here. We don't know. It could very well be what happened. So now it's going to bring up 3rd down now and 4 from the 39-yard line. So replay has not been the Thunderbolts' friend this year. They've missed on 3, and now the other team 1 for 1 against them.
Now the wideout closest to us is Flint Shealy. He looks like he's lined up offside.
He is offside. Joe, he's playing. He's clearly offside. Here's the straight drop back. Matoka now stepping up, pump fake, gets forward. He's got the first down, hit from behind, goes down inside the 30, down to the 28-yard line.
Michael Lutu, the defensive end, kind of finished on top of him. And for as far as he had to run to do that, I'm sure he enjoyed that.
That was quite astonishing, wasn't it? The guy lined up in the neutral zone for mine.
Because he was
right on our line. Now we're on the line. The line judge is on that line. What is he looking at? He's just choosing to ignore it. That's what he's doing. That's the only other explanation, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's just choosing to ignore it.
And now Max McLeod has single coverage with
1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. Bring a man in motion. Take the pitch left. Now Matoka will run, but he's chased down by Monty Hamrick. Not going to get away from Monty. And he's going to lose 4 on the play back at the 32-yard line. I think Matoka thought he had a chance, but then that was a runaway diesel heading down.
Yeah, when you're not in your line of sight, bad things happen.
So it's 2nd down now and 14 from the 32-yard line. 6:40 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 31-14. Mines with the lead. Shealy wide to the right, trips to the left. They're in a bunch formation over there. Roll the pocket left. Matoka fires, and it's caught across the 25 down to about the 23-yard line. Good stick there at the end. Ball grabbed by Zach Hoffman. Hoffman with 6 catches on the year.
Keith McKinney in coverage right there does a good job, but it's so far down the field.
It's Hoffman's first grab today. So 3rd down now and 4 from the 22-yard line for the Ordigers. 6 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Come the substitutions for the Thunderwolves. Bunch formation to left. It's trips that way. Ball's on the left hash mark. Pass it left side. Caught. And 1st down. And more. Just a quick flip out there to Max McLeod.
Complete to number 3, Max McLeod.
Joe, if we'd had a painting on our wall there, it would have been knocked off the wall there. Coaches next door.
Yeah, they're not happy with that defending that wide receiver screen. Those usually go for a couple yards is all. More to keep you honest, and that went for a lot more yardage than it should have.
1st down and 10. Ball at the 13-yard line for the Ordigers. They already lead the game 31-14. They go with their heavy package, unbalanced to the right here. They hand it off up the middle, and the Thunder will snuff it out. Seidenberger right in the hole to make the stop there. Had somebody else, one of the linemen, down low on his legs there. But Seidenberger finished him off.
This is a freshman from Texas who's played his way into the starting lineup for the Thunderwolves at linebacker.
Turrington was the man on his legs, the big guy in this middle there, the junior out of Elk Grove, California. I really like James Turrington. Space eater.
They are. They're big up front. Not tall, but thick.
2nd and 8 from the 11. They send the man in motion. That's Roper. They roll the pocket right. They fire it right. It's caught. And down to the 6-yard line, about 2 yards short of the first down. McClellan over there in pursuit to knock Roper out of bounds.
Those little drag routes that Mines runs are so nice because Matoka just puts the ball right on your hip and you're just able to just keep running.
He just puts the right amount of smoke on it, doesn't he?
It's firm but fair.
Exactly.
He's like
That's the way to put it. Good way to put it.
Firm but fair.
3rd down and 2 for the Orediggers. Kraus in the game. He's lined up wide to the right. Roper adjusts to the right side of Matoka. Matoka going to run it around the right side, trying to turn the corner. He's going to run out of real estate. And there is the freshman Seidenberger, swallowing him up, throwing him down for a loss. Good play there by Gary.
Matoka's like, hey, does he have to throw me down like that? Look at him talking to he's talking to Cecil like, hey, man, what's the deal here? Like, John, you're the player of the year in Division II. Go away.
Exactly. Boy, Seidenberger, he had to show up on campus, redshirt year probably, but man, he's just played himself into a big-time role in this ball club. He is good.
He practices as hard as he plays, if not harder.
Field goal attempt here.
Just a little chip shot.
Hunter Pearson, 26-yard attempt. It's up, and it is good. 3:33 to go in the 3rd quarter. 34-14 now, Mines on top. So they take advantage of the replay reversal and get 3 points out of it. Now the Thunderwolves with 3:33 to go here in this 3rd quarter with the wind at their back. They must score on this drive to have any hope.
Hello, Pack fans. It's me again, Ro Dominguez.
And Ro Dominguez out there on the field doing her thing. I think she's got a future, Joe, as a spokesperson, huh?
She's got to come out of her shell.
Yeah, exactly. She's too shy.
Yeah, Rose, if you ever get a chance, you're on campus, or you go to a women's basketball game or come out to a football game, introduce yourself to Ro Dominguez. She is the most personable basketball player there. Well, student, but she also plays basketball for the Thunderwolves.
All right, we had a make last week. We had a winner of $800 worth of tires.
He's coming to get the other set.
Left-handed booter this time. Oh, my. That's embarrassing.
The kick is no good, but thank you for
Oh, man.
Here's your Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Jeez. That.
Yeah,
that was not good.
He didn't really show up for that one. That was a rough one.
He kind of looks the part, but, man, there was just...
Well, it was Nick Runstadler who won it last week.
Yeah.
He played baseball for Csu-Pueblo. It's not like he wasn't an athlete.
Yeah, this guy that was just not good.
You know, I could use $800 worth of tires right now.
Yeah, couldn't we all?
But I'd also tear several muscles in my body trying to kick it.
All right. We're in a TV timeout here right now. And what they're doing is going live. It's like I said, you said earlier, Joe, we don't actually need these. If you were in post-production, you should be able to tighten these up. But evidently they're going
Nobody wants
live.
to edit film.
Yeah, they don't want to edit anything anymore.
Live to tape.
Now, I remember I told the old story once. Jeffrey Orman and I, who did the Cannon game last night, I guess, for television, we did a game for Air Force Academy basketball. And we thought it would be one of those where they did they cut it up at the end. And they just rolled it.
Yeah.
So when we were in timeout, we're yapping away. So we're on our way home. The football game ended and the basketball game started. And then we were calling the basketball game. And everything we said went out. And luckily, we were, pure as the wind-driven snow.
Yeah.
Here's the kickoff return. This is McGarity.
He made one guy move.
Remember, he scored a touchdown in his first ever. Ball came out. Now, now they can't give this ball to Mines.
They were saying he was down.
There's been no signal yet.
I think the whistle blew. I don't know what Mines is doing, but.
And Thunderbolts, remember, they already used their challenge. Mines is saying it's their ball. I think they're going to get the ball here, Joe.
I think he was down.
McGarrity's now coming and saying, I was down. But remember, the Thunderbolts used their challenge already.
Yeah.
I think Mines is going to get the football. Nobody came in and emphatically signaled he was down on the turf. Even though that's what it looked like. All right, thank you. Gee, Christmas, that would have been disaster.
Well, the special teamers get up and start woofing all the time.
So Thunderbolts will take over at their 22-yard line after surviving that would-be insurrection.
They need to score on this possession regardless. Cut it to 34-21. They have to do that on this possession. Did they challenge again?
Yeah, they do. If you win the first challenge, you get a chance to challenge again, and that's what Mines is going to do.
Colorado School Mines challenging rolling that the runner was down prior to the fumble with immediate recovery.
All right. So they go over. We'll see if Mines, if they win this challenge, they get the ball, 21-yard line. So now the referee has got to trot over.
And you know, if you fair catch it, you get the ball at the 25 and nobody gets hurt.
Yeah. Cecil Harrison, as Joe's mentioned, he's our referee today. Joined by Kerry Fry, Dominic Valdez, John O'Connor, Robert Leathers, Sean Hunter, Steve McFall, Todd Baldwin. So it's almost downright comical. They go over to a little card table set up in the end zone, and they're looking at a little iPad with a, 10-inch screen, Joe?
If that.
To try to decipher what actually happened.
It's where you hope the home field operator of the camera. I don't have that shot.
I just whiffed on that one. Yeah, we missed it.
I don't have that.
I'm pretty sure his knee was down, and then when he was down, then the ball popped out.
Yeah, it was all circumstance after the play. And then everybody just starts. And, you know, give the credit to the side judge on the far side. He kind of ran in, so it was sort of like I think he thought it was down. But he didn't run in emphatically.
Yeah, he didn't definitely come in and say down right here. And so maybe the Orediggers have something here. For the shot, though, we're going to lose a timeout. Big deal. They've already won one challenge. So even if you win this one, you don't get another one. You only get two if you get the first one correct. So, hey, roll the dice. Maybe you get the ball here. But, man, I don't know how you can see on that little iPad or tablet, whatever. I don't know who makes it or who we're using. Maybe we're giving the wrong endorsement to the wrong company here. I have no idea why they can't set up a little, TV doesn't weigh anything.
Right.
Put a 25-incher down there.
Little monitor.
This is just, there's so many things about things that happen in life and what we're doing, Joe, that make no sense to me. Or put it up on the big screen. Let everybody watch it. I think I'd rather see it up on a nice big screen than trying to bend over there and hurt my back squinting at a little 10-inch tablet. Now they have come to a decision here. I've tried to work body language here by the officials trying to see what they're going to decide here.
Looks like the offense is going out.
Yeah, they're all in communication, aren't they, with their little headsets, so they all know what's going to happen. So, going to be Thunderbolts ball. That's confirmed. So that means he was down. Now, remember one of our earlier rulings today, they just said was up or
stands.
Stands. That means they didn't know for sure. There wasn't enough evidence. But this one, it's confirmed. That means he definitely was down. It's Thunderbolts ball. Mines is out of challenges. Now they are charged with a timeout.
Seeing that special teamer was woofing, I was like, oh, man, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry I cost this one, Coach. So Thunderwolves ball at the 22-yard line. 3:25 to go here in the third quarter. 34-14. Mines on top. Both tight ends in the game. They shift to the left side of the formation. They look left, fire it left. And trying to reverse field. Look out. Here we go. Russell turns the corner. 30. Nice cut inside. 40. Down to the 43-yard line.
Oh, Jim, I wish he would have just stayed outside, though.
Yeah, I thought so, too. He kept back into traffic.
Yeah, I wish you'd have just stayed outside. He might have won a foot race, but they'll still take the 20 yards.
It's almost like he was trying to knife by the guy on the flyby and then sprint into the secondary there. As it is, it's a gain of 22. And again, he gets the ball up the middle. And a good carry there. Good burst out across the 45 to the 47. He picks up 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
I like the little mix-up running the football a little bit, Jim. I think you can't just get pass happy, because if you're incomplete and you have 3rd and 10, it just doesn't work.
2nd down and 6 for the Thunderwolves. Straight drop back. Here comes late pressure over the middle. They get the pass away, and it's Cook gets it, but he goes down to the turf. He
had to.
The pass was to his side. If it's thrown to him upright, he might have a chance to run for a ways there, but he had to adjust and go to the turf to make the catch.
Yep. Stevie Kroll come in for the quarterback package where you stress even more RPO here. Scored a touchdown earlier.
Martinez into the game to play running back here on 3rd and 2. He's going to run it and makes a little stutter step, gets forward, ball pops out, and Mines has it. They've scooped it up. They've got one blocker out in front, but a good adjustment by Retzlaff to make the saving tackle on the linebacker, Jaden Williams, as Kroll tried for second effort to get the first down. Looked like he had the yardage for the first down, but the ball popped out and went right to the Orediggers.
Jim, Zach Hester from Mines just put the ball popped perfectly out. Just number 8 for Mines, that one you don't need replay for. Csu-Pueblo's defense has to be getting tired.
1st and 10 for the Orediggers right at midfield here. So it was a good run, good second effort, just didn't complete the run there. He looked like a helmet hit him right, as Joe mentioned, right on the ball, popped it out of there. Now they shift the formation. Look at that, they got big 65 in there. He's the extra tight end, so he has to report as an eligible wide receiver. And Matoka on the keeper, look out. 40, 35, hurdles inside the 35 down to the 30-yard line. They'll say his knee was down back here at the 31, but man, oh man, is he a weapon.
Well, when you make a Daniel Bone miss like that, you're a good player. He doesn't whiff very often, and he just did right there.
As we mentioned, he's the equivalent of the Heisman Trophy winner for Division II football. It's called the Harlan Hill Award, as the best college football player in all the land in Division II. So you're getting to see something special here at the Thunder Bowl today. Ball at the 31-yard line. Man in motion left. That's a tight end. Resets on the left side. Looks left. Fires left. Ball caught. Down to the 25-yard line. Ball grabbed on the play by Zach Hoffman. These wide receivers, big and physical for the Orediggers.
Csu-Pueblo defenders look like they're tired running in and out.
They're running a little 30-yard sprint, aren't they? 2nd down and 4 from the 25. Walker adjusts the left hip. Now they shift both linemen to the right side. Constantly keeping you guessing. Then they hand the ball up the middle. And Walker taken down. And then Walker sent backwards there.
Well, that was the same play he scored on. Was able to break free, and that time he didn't even go down.
Finney is doing a little yapping down there on the line, but he's one guy that's not intimidated by the other. Well, I don't think it's Finney. That's actually Lucas Moran for the Thunderbolts. He was talking it up a little bit there. All right, that's the end of the third quarter. 34-14. Orediggers on top. I'm
surprised he hasn't looked at Luckadoo or Dvorak. Those tight ends look to me like they've they've been a little bit open underneath.
2nd down and 2 for the Thunderwolves. Give it up the middle. Nice run here by Martinez. He's got the 1st down, forward across the 40 to about the 44-yard line.
He's like momentum personifies, isn't he? He gets his momentum going farther.
I guess there's the one bright spot for the Thunderwolves. The running game in spurts today has been better. Obviously broke off some big runs today in this game. Straight drop back. Pressure comes and he's sacked.
Yeah, they just sent more than you could block right there.
Well, that play was designed. He's got to throw it. It was supposed to be just a little turn into Cook, but he didn't throw it. Might have been a guy in the passing lane. Looked like, remember, he had one deflected earlier in the game, but the linebacker for the Ordigers, Healy, was right there. It probably would have been batted down if he had thrown it, but that threw everything off.
Got a little gun shy.
So a loss of 7 back to the 37-yard line. Middle screen set up, caught by Martinez. Good play here. Breaks a tackle up the sideline. 50, close to the 1st down to about the 48-yard line. They might give him the 47. They're going to give him the 46. They keep moving it forward.
You give him the 1st down.
And move the chains.
And that's all Keon Martinez right there.
Good delivery, though, there by Fuller. He dropped it right over the rushers. But Martinez, the key, made that first man miss.
And I'm surprised we haven't seen more screens, more misdirection.
So 1st and 10 for the Thunderwolves at the 46-yard line, even though the down marker says 3rd down. Here's the ball on left flat. Ball was caught and dropped. That's got to be incomplete. We're waiting.
They're
I heard
saying
the whistles.
incomplete.
Yeah, okay.
And there are no challenges.
It's a good thing it was. Otherwise, it would have been a scoop and score touchdown for the Ordigers.
And that's Dvorak, his first target today.
So 2nd and 10. (41-14). Ordigers on top. Fuller changes the play call. Looks over to the sideline. Now he'll back out of there. Press coverage here by the Ordigers all across the formation. It gives a Russell big opening. Nice cut inside. He's got the 1st down. Boy, he runs with authority, doesn't he? Inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line.
And I like how he gets up, hands the ball to the official, and runs back to the huddle.
1st and 10 for the Pack. Again, they give it to Russell. Nice cut. Good hard running, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle inside the 15 down to the 13-yard line. Running with authority, Howard Russell.
Yeah, and Keon Martinez goes and gets him.
So 1st and 10, Thunderwolves down to the 13-yard line. I know, Joe, I don't, stay with the hot hand. I see basketball coaches do that all the time. A guy makes a great play, 3-point play. Get him out of there. Get him out of there with a positive frame of mind. 1st and 10 for the 13. Ball left side caught. Dvorak puts his head down, bangs his way down inside the 10 to the 7-yard line.
I love when tight ends do that. They get that little flare pattern, get their shoulders turned, and then just look for contact.
That's complete. Number 87, Tyler Dvorak.
I liked Howard Russell today, Jim.
Yeah, he's run with authority, hasn't he? He's fast.
Yeah.
Deceptively fast. 2nd and 4 for the Pack. They shift both tight ends to the right side of the formation here. Fake it into the middle. Look out. Get rid of it. Corner route for Cook. Got it.
Oh, he caught it.
Foot down. No. His foot was out of bounds.
No.
Foot must have been right on the line. He made a great grab, did a little toe tap, but now everybody's eyes turned toward the scoreboard, hoping that a cameraman had a good angle of it. But there's no challenge left for the Pack.
Well, so they might as well show it. I want to see that one again.
Come on, Mr. Replay Man, put it up on the board. Gotta be kidding me.
Oh, I want to see that one
That's
again.
one you want to see. Everybody in the house wants to see it, and they don't put it up. 3rd down and 4.
Kroll in.
They give it right side. Martinez cutting the outside, breaking one tackle, but a little bit too much dancing. Going to lose a yard back to the 8, so now it's 4th down.
The field goal doesn't do much for you.
No, you got to go.
Still can get a 1st down, though, down to the 3.
Although, is he sending he's going to send the field goal unit out? I guess you work on things. So it'll be a 25-yard field goal attempt from the right hash mark. And now we've got a stoppage. And
Call timeout. Maybe they want to rethink this. Maybe they want to rethink this.
It looks like they got the offense back in the huddle here.
You don't want to call a timeout and to kick a field goal.
Fans starting to chant, go for it. They're here. Oh. I'm kind of astonished that you'd even trot them out in the first place,
Yeah.
Joe. That's kind of weird to me. Unless you just... What you've done, when you trot the field goal team out and say, you know what, we're not going to win the game, let's work on our special teams field goal unit. But you are down 27 in the game. I guess a field goal could get you within 24. That'd be 3 touchdowns, 3 2-point conversions.
Well, you're going to need
that
the points, but...
Yeah, that might be what you'd think maybe by kicking the field goal, but, man.
Yeah, eventually you might need it, but
yeah,
you're down there so close, and you still can get a first down. See, that's my point, is you don't necessarily need to score here. You need 5 for a first down, 7 for a touchdown, or 8.
Yeah, I got you. If it was 4th and goal from the 8,
right,
then maybe kick the field goal.
Right.
But you need 4 for the first down, basically. So they send the offense back out there. It'll be Russell to play tailback. Fuller back in to play quarterback. Retzlaff to the right, trips to the left. Paulus, Cook, and Rakowski are wide to the left.
Pressure off the edges. They fall back.
Fuller takes the snap. He's going to roll the pocket left. Pass. Oh, threw it behind the receiver. He had Rakowski over there. He needed to throw it to the outside to where he could turn up the sideline. Instead, he threw it to the inside, and he had to try to adjust, and it let the safety get there and blast him.
Yeah, that was just a poor throw on a conceived play, it looked like.
Yeah, if you hit Rakowski in stride to turn the corner, that was where the ball should have went. Instead, it went inside. He had to adjust. Even if he makes the catch, he's not going to get it.
But he might get the first down. Oh, if he catches it on the inside.
Yeah. If he on the outside, turn to the corner, I think he gets it. I think
Right.
he might score because he would have had momentum on his side. Just a bad pass. So the ball goes over on downs to the Orediggers. They'll start from their own 8-yard line here. 10:39 to go. Finds a chance to work on eating clock here. But and say that, and immediately they go with the old pump and go route up the right sideline, going for it all. And it is caught out at the 45-yard line. What a pass, what a grab out there by Flynn Sheely. And an injury for the Thunderwolves.
Well, it's Keith McCain. He came down a little goofy. You just wonder how much of that is like, oh no, I just gave up 40.
He's working on a right knee or cramping issue here. Yeah, he was definitely in oh no mode the whole route there as the ball got over his head. But there is Matoka. And Joe just using that little breeze, just loft it up there and let your big receivers run underneath it. They got the advantage.
Well, that's what they do. This is nothing new. And I hope people who were at the game today and who are watching on tape delay or listening to us realize what you've seen in John Matoka for the last few years. He's a great player. And he's a good guy. You know, he's fiery and he's a little ornery, and you know, it's the kind of guy you want playing
Henry
for
is
you.
right. Remember the game last year where he was nuts in the second half when they screwed up a play and they were already up in the game by 3 or 4 touchdowns, and he was livid.
Yeah,
he's got that fire under him.
But you'd want to go to war with that guy.
Oh my goodness, yes.
You'd want him to lead you into battle. Csu-Pueblo's defense been on the field an awful lot today. Just looking at time of possession, 12 minutes longer, 10 minutes longer.
Here is the handoff up the middle. Nice opening there for Roper, and they tried to stand him up and rip the ball. Now they lift him up into the air. They're just carrying him forward. Looks like a rugby scrum. And they just carry him down inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. That was a macho run there if I've ever seen one. Oh, my goodness. That is imposing your physical superiority on an opponent there.
Well, he got through the first 5 yards, and then when Gary Seidenberger had him, he was kind of at a bad angle, and he carried him for a little while. You know he's going to get bigger and thicker in the offseason. It's Gary Seidenberger. He's going to be dangerous.
1st and 10, Thunderwolves 39-yard line. Oh, big opening here. Roper across the 30, 25, cuts inside the 20-yard line. They're going to mark him down right at the 20. Another first down for the Orediggers. 9:20 to go here. Now it is 41-14 Orediggers.
Scipio coming in. Donovan English coming in. Corey Ramming coming in late.
Here's the snap to Matoka. Pressure, gets it over the middle. Nice grab down to the 10-yard line. And hauled in there is one of the reserve receivers, Axel Richard, a redshirt freshman out of Spring, Texas.
Yeah, and that was Eli Pittman on single coverage and that little drag route. Nice little pitch and catch.
1st and 10 at the 10 for the Orediggers. Toka takes the snap, gives it up the middle. Roper hit right at the line of scrimmage, fights forward for a yard or two. He's got an interesting text there, Joe, and it's a good one, kind of comical from an old friend. We'll touch on his text here in a little bit.
Okay.
2nd down and goal from the 9 for the Orediggers. 7:50 to go.
I just saw a little signal on the sideline. Looks like Chance Fuller's done for the day at quarterback.
Matoka looks left. Oh, gets away. There's flag. It's holding. In the back zone, incomplete. That was a self-preservation, protect your quarterback at all cost hold there by the Ordigger lineman. I have no problems whatsoever with what he did there. And I'm sure, John Matoka probably didn't care either. Keep me upright is what he's saying. And the penalty is on the big tackle, Levi Johnson.
You know, we talk about how these Mines players have never lost to Csu-Pueblo, these seniors, and there's some seniors on Csu-Pueblo's team that could say they've never beaten Mines.
Right.
Yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow in the RMAC.
So the ball marked back to the 19, so it's 2nd down and goal from the 19-yard line now for the Orediggers. Trips to the right, double wide out left. Matoka, empty backfield, straight drop back. Looks for the end zone, puts some air under it, and it's caught. Touchdown! What a pass, right on the money to Flynn Sheely, and he hauls it in on the left sideline in the end zone for the touchdown. Just dropped it right in the bucket.
Danielle Dixon thought he had good coverage, and you don't understand with these Mines receivers, that's not good coverage. That's sending what's left of the fan base.
What a pass. I mean, that was incredible. Oh. Ball's down, kick is up. Oh, it hit the upright.
Still go through? It did.
It did. That's when things are going your way. Extra point, good. 7:35 to go here in the 4th quarter. It is 48-14 Orediggers right here on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Colorado did score.
Oh, good.
So they averted the shutout.
All right, Joe, our old buddy, Mark Matarochi.
Okay.
One of my teammates from college golf at the then University of Southern Colorado, plus childhood friends. He texts in, he goes, hey, you guys might need a change of pace and a feel-good positive story.
Oh, I have one.
Csu-Pueblo's Colt Tenpenny.
Oh, the golfer. Yeah.
Armac golfer of the week. I think he had is he the guy that had the 62? Or did he win the meet?
Archie Wyatt set the course record.
Archie had the 62, but Tenpenny won the tournament.
Right.
The Sam Pole.
Archie Wyatt set a new course record.
Yes, that's right. I got to get it straight. But Tenpenny ended up winning the tournament with some gaudy score, with like 14 under, or something, even for the meet. Wyatt had the 10 under par of course record round, but his teammate wins the meet and is the Armac golfer of the week. That golf team is extraordinary, and Josh Koschke has built himself a national powerhouse. They're ranked right up there in the top 15 in the country. Of course, they made the Elite 8 a couple years back, and they're a threat. Always a threat. And the women seem pretty darn good this year as well.
And they're starting to go get those foreign players that come over, and they have friends that come here, and Tenpenny, and then you got Archie Wyatt's from Scotland, and you have lots of foreigners now, and they come over and come over to play golf. CU's extra point was blocked.
Oh my! And I've been in discussions with a couple of friends of mine that say, well, what are we doing recruiting guys, bringing guys in from,
Why
not?
What?
Because they want to be here and they love it and they enjoy it, and it's good. It's good.
Because you want to win
here,
too,
you want
don't
to win. Or would you rather have some Denver hack that doesn't want to be here?
Ask Oscar 12 Trees.
Yeah.
Or Oliver 12 Trees. I'm sorry, not Oscar. Oliver. The men's soccer team plays for a national title.
I don't want some entitled doofus from Denver playing at Cherry Creek or Cherry Hills coming down here and, bitter at the world. I want a guy that wants to play, and I love these guys from Scotland and England.
And they love Pueblo, and
exactly.
they love the coach. And, Keo's a different kind of coach. He's the ultimate player's coach.
Yeah.
He thinks he's a player still. Keo, he's the most competitive coach there is. He's like, I go out and try and beat my guys.
And speaking of golfers, somebody that's quietly having a just fantastic high school year is our old buddy Jason Allen's boy.
Sure.
Preston Allen. He's a senior out of Pueblo West. Won the South Invitational a little while back. In fact, I had to post, 45 years ago, I won the South Invitational. You know what that means, Joe?
You're old.
Damn old. 45.
Hey, you're a state champion. I'm an SCL champion.
That's right.
Champion. I won the South Central League my senior year.
Mark Matarochi texted in. Armac champions.
See?
My freshman year. He was a sophomore.
We got a little win to us.
Yeah, we had a little bit going for us. Kroll's in the game to play quarterback for the Thunderwolves. They hand the ball up the middle. If you're wondering why Joe and I are going up, we don't have commercials today, so we got to fill time during the breaks. And we could rehash this game over and over.
48-14 too.
So you gotta. This reminds me of the time when we did on the scouting mission down in Canyon, Texas, thinking we might have to go to that, and then the Thunderwolves ended up winning that ball game. Remember?
Oh, that was their season opener, and we're down in Canyon, Texas, and we went down there a few times.
Gravano on the catch. He's in the ball game for the Thunderwolves. Makes the grab. Nice delivery there by Kroll, right on the money. First down.
Pass complete to number 88.
I mean, it's not it's within the realm of possibility that there may be a change at quarterback. This could be an audition for Kroll. Pass caught, Gravano. I think what Kroll gives you is a bit of physicality at quarterback.
And he will run the football.
Now that fumble he had doesn't help his cause any.
But again, that was trying to get 3 yards on a.
Yeah.
That was a tough play. Not that that's an excuse, but.
But one thing it does tell you, Kroll has moved up the depth chart. He's ahead of Short now.
Yeah.
Short was listed 2, but with Kroll coming into the game here.
Well, it had an or because they were going to use them all. But I think Stevie Kroll's kind of established himself as somebody who they can trust under center, or not under center, but behind center. And we knew that they were going to have packages for him coming into today.
3rd down and 9 here for the Thunderwolves. Kroll now looks over to the sideline as they change the play call.
Mines has really kind of called off the dogs a little bit in terms of blitzing. As I say that, they send
5 or 6. Here comes a late rusher up the sideline. Back shoulder throw incomplete, trying to get it to McGarity. Kroll was under duress there. And I like that late blitzer that came in there for Mines. It's almost like they occupy all the blockers, and then the guy just makes a beeline toward him.
And he rolled to his left because Stevie Kroll is left-handed. And so that blindside block came from his blindside. Or blindside blitz, I'm sorry.
So 4th down for the Thunderwolves from the 37. 5.5 to go here in the 4th quarter. It's 48-14. Orediggers on top. Here's the kick. Short kick. Good coverage by the Thunderwolves. And a chance on special teams there for the Pack. That's Musa Alsafar, redshirt freshman out of Grandview High School in Aurora.
Kind of a feeder school for the
As I say,
Thunderwolves for a lot of time.
A lot of different sports.
You know who's the best CSU-Pueblo athlete to come out of Grandview, in my opinion? Katie Cunningham.
There you go.
Mike Pinnell might have something to say about that. Played in the NBA, or the NFL, but my money's with Katie Cunningham.
Well, she'll be here in a couple weeks.
Yes, she will.
For the Hall of Fame, that team going in as a team. I'm on the Hall of Fame committee, and that was a kind of a no-brainer.
I'm guessing she might get in an individual someday.
You know, she's on I guess you'd say a short list once it comes down. She'll have to go through a few rotations. I mean,
two-time defensive RMAC player of the year, back-to-back seasons, and when they've set the,
Yeah, you have to look at things. What do you need to win games? You need somebody and she was a difference maker, ultimate difference maker on the court as far as defending, give you points when you needed them. She didn't always have to score points, but she was a good distributor, great defender, just a great team leader, I guess you'd say. And that whole team was made up of course,
and then the RMAC player of the year leaves, and they still compete.
Yeah, Tule Sue Anderson will go in. She's what they, like you say, it'd be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Next year will be her first year eligible as an individual.
Chuck it.
Yeah, she'll be in. So I'm probably maybe speaking out of school.
She'll be here
with
in
my
2
position,
weeks.
but
She'll bring in the twin boys.
Yes, it's enjoyed watching them grow up.
So she'll be here
right in front of us.
Looks like a lot of that team will be here. I even heard Molly Rohr will be here.
That's great.
Molly Rohr was one of the best players in CSU Pueblo basketball history, and she transferred.
Yeah, and that was kind of a bad way that her career ended. It was just a bad era. Those 2 years.
Who was the? Kip Brown had a player that was a freshman of the year. Her sister played at Mesa, so she transferred to Mesa, and it's like that set that program back a couple.
Well, Molly was chasing the division winner, but there was other things that caused her to leave.
Yeah, she went to Northern Arizona and didn't play.
Yeah, because it blew out her knee.
But I was kind of sad because she could have.
Yeah, I set all kinds of records.
She could have been the record book.
Yeah, she would have been probably could have been close to being an all-time scorer.
But that's a great class, Bobby Graham.
Yes.
I mean Ryan Jensen.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. That'll be in 2 weeks when the Thunderwolves return home. Next week, we're at Fort Lewis. The ultimate get-well game, but we've had disasters in the past in Durango with this Thunderwolves program. That would be the ultimate disaster.
Maybe not get well, but get healthy.
Yeah.
Go out and beat somebody a little bit up, and Matoka's out of the game now.
And they hand the ball on the right side. There's a flag going to come in.
A couple of them.
And the new back in the ball game, that is Brayton Tate.
How about David Va'a, the defensive lineman, getting some playing time out of American Samoa? And we will never American Samoa gave CSU Pueblo one of its greatest coaches in all time, in Donnell Liamidi. One of the few buffs I really love.
That's good. Yeah. Buff love.
Well, there's the reason why he was making the play.
Yep. Personal foul on the defense, so it marks it all the way down to the 45-yard line here. 4:37 to go. Mine's already leading at 48-14. Clock rolls. New quarterback is Evan Foster. He's a senior. He's out of Olathe.
Guess the TV guys are calling him Joshua Matoka.
Oh, jeez.
He's the best player in the country, and they're calling him Josh.
Oh, my goodness. Gain of 4 on this little pass out in the flat on the right side. on the catch for the Orediggers, Axel Richard, redshirt freshman out of Spring, Texas. Mine's 30 players on their active roster out of Texas, 32 from the state of Colorado. Then they sprinkle them from around. State of Washington has like 6. I think 19 different states are represented on my quick little peruse through the roster. Here's a handoff of the middle. Breaking tackles there. Nice run by Braylon Tate.
Number 4, Braylon Tate, the ball carrier.
And Joe's going to head on down to the field. Stay tuned for our post-game show. I mean, that reminds me to go ahead and turn on the old wireless mic setup. And we're able to get that working last week. When we stand on the sideline and get that thing pointed right at our antennas, it seemed to work last week. Hopefully that's the case here this week as well. So it's 1st and 10 Orediggers from the 26-yard line. Hand the ball up the middle and hit immediately.
Number 4, Braylon Tate, the ball carrier.
Good defensive play for the Thunderwolves, trying to make sure who it was. Yeah, I thought it was kind of an unusual number for a defensive lineman because it wasn't a lineman. It was actually Nushi from his linebacker spot burrowing underneath there to make the tackle for the Thunderwolves. He comes out of the game now. 2nd down and 11 from the 27-yard line for the Orediggers. 2:20 to go. They lead it 48-14. Thunderwolves showing blitz off the edge. Now they back out of there. As flying up on the line of scrimmage was Caden Rulo, who's into the game to play safety. Now he's way deep in the secondary. They roll the pocket right. Pass toward the end zone. Flag down, interference on the Thunderwolves. So that'll result in a 15-yard interference call here. It'll mark it down to the 12-yard line. The Orediggers now could probably go to victory formation. I think they do after they've picked up the 1st down here. Although you got your reserves in here, I would hand the ball off 3 times. I don't think I'd go take a knee here. So they mark it down to the 12. We'll see how Mines plays it. I think you run a couple more plays here, because you want to get these guys a little bit of experience. Let's see if they go into victory formation. I don't think you run any pass plays. You don't run any exotic plays. I think you just run it up the middle 3 times. You make them stop you, but you just don't call the dogs off for the game here. So they aren't in victory formation. Send a man in motion to the right side. Take the snap. They're going to run it around the left side and trying to turn the corner inside the 10, inside the 5. Touchdown, Orediggers. Evan Foster, the quarterback, puts another one on the board for Mines. Now, some may say that's kind of rubbing your nose in it, but you know what? These guys work hard all during the week, these reserves. Make the other team stop you. That was just a simple little run play around the left side. Thunderwolves didn't stop him. And you reward Evan Foster with a touchdown. Makes it 54-14 with the extra point upcoming here with 1:51 to go. Ball's down, kick is up, and he is good. 1:51 to go here in the 4th quarter. 55-14, Orediggers on top. Stay tuned for our post-game show. We don't have highlights today. We don't have spots. It'll be kind of a relatively quick post-game show. We'll give you the numbers. Kind of recap the game a little bit, give you some scores from around the country. Also talk to Phil Vigil down on the field. And the way this day has gone in many respects, that probably won't work. Oh, my. And the stands have cleared out. We welcome everybody that's out in your cars if you've tuned into us here on Fox Sports Pueblo to hear the post-game show and get the rehash. Not many positives you could put on this game for the Thunderwolves. And it sounds ludicrous to say with the score being 55-14 right now, but the Thunderwolves in the second quarter, they had a big-time chance to make a game of it. And in many respects, you could almost argue that they should have had the lead at one point late in the second quarter if they'd have taken care of business with the hand that was dealt them. They just didn't take advantage of the hand that was dealt them. We'll talk a little bit about that in the post-game show. Ball goes in and out the end zone. Man, I'm trying to lose my voice here all of a sudden. It must be all that extra talk, folks, during the commercial breaks. Never a chance to lubricate here. There, let's see if that helps. A little Pepsi Cola never hurt anybody, right? Kroll remains in the game. He'll hand the ball up the middle to Soto, and he gets forward for about 2. Big stack up in the middle. So it's second down. Looks like the Thunderwolves are just going to run 3 running plays and get the heck on out of here is the way it looks.
Number 22, Adrian Soto, the ball carrier.
Kroll takes the snap, hands it off to Soto up the middle, bangs in there for a couple. Out to the 28-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
Number 22, Adrian Soto, the ball
Clock
carrier.
down to 1:05 to go here. Thunderwolves should let the clock roll down to under 40 to make sure the game ends after this 3rd down snap. And that's what they're doing. They're telling them just to relax a little bit here. We're down to 44, 43. They need to get down to have this play end with 40 seconds under, and they do pass it on the right side. And getting forward for a little bit of yards. That's a new man for the Thunderwolves into the ball game. That's Musa Al-Safar. Short of the first down, but we're down to 22 seconds to go in the game. Thunderwolves can just let the time run out here. I don't think they're going to run another play. Looks like it's the call it good moment. Players starting to shake hands out on the field. And that's when you just say, let's just call it good. Orediggers win it 55-14. And with that, we welcome you to the Thunderwolves post-game show. Thunderwolves go down to defeat here today, 55-14, the final score. And that score pretty much describes the way the game went, in particular here in the second half. But as we work our way through the post-game show, Thunderwolves had chances in the second quarter, folks, to make a game of this. They got the touchdown on the last play of the first quarter to make it 17-7. Actually had a couple of possessions in Mines territory in the second quarter with the score being 17-7. One time in the red zone, a bad snap forced them outside of field goal range. So at the very least, it could have been 17-10. If you look in the grand scheme of things with those 2 possessions in Orediger territory, you put up a couple touchdowns, you'd have had the lead. And then it all went awry for the Thunderwolves late in the first half when they threw a pick 6 to Jaden Healy, who intercepted the ball on the 37-yard line and took it into the end zone for the Orediggers to get them a late touchdown. A pick 6, making it 24-7 at that point. They got an early touchdown in the third quarter to go up 31-7. Thunderwolves did answer with a score of their own. Kroll on a 38-yard run to make it 31-14 with 11:28 to go. But then that was it. Let's go down to the field and Joe Cervi.
All right, down here with head coach Phil Vigil. Coach, another spotting somebody a few points and get behind the 8 ball early, kind of playing catch up from then on.
Yeah, the wind early was really hurting us from a field position standpoint. I mean, we protected punt well. We just that thing was swirling, and we weren't getting ourselves in good positions there with the defense. And I thought the defense again, played pretty good for the first half. And then offensively, we started to find some things that were working offensively in the run game. And then we just, we got to finish. We got to finish in the end zone when we get offensive drives, and we got to keep them out. That's a very, very good football team. That's the best football team we've played so far, and it's I don't know if it's even close. Number 10 is a very good football player. Their receivers are very underrated. That's a very good team. I got to tip my cap off to them.
We talked earlier in the week where you said you have to take advantage of opportunities. Today you had some opportunities. Your defense created some chances for you. Your offense showed some signs of life, but you had to capitalize on those, and not being able to, that definitely hurt.
Yeah, you can't miss opportunities against the number 2 team in the country and expect to come out on top. You just can't. They're a number 2 team in the country for a reason. They played a really good non-conference schedule. They're a very good football team, and so we've got to make sure that we take care of us, and we got to get back to the film tomorrow and get back to the drawing boards and get back to work. We got Fort Lewis next week, and we got to get back to work.
All right, Coach. Thanks a lot. Jim, back upstairs.
All right, thanks, Joe. Thanks, Coach Phil Vigil, for that post-game interview. But as missed opportunities, that's a great way to look at this. We don't have our highlights today. We had all kinds of problems back at iHeart today at the board, but we'll recap the scoring in this ball game first before we look at the numbers. Mines got on the board first. Remember, the Thunderwolves did have a goal line stand early on in this game, but Thunderwolves unable to take advantage of it. Mines would get the ball back in pretty good field position. They would go 60 yards in 6 plays. Noah Roper on a 7-yard run, making it 7-0. Then Matoka on their next possession, he would go deep to Flynn Sheely, a 40-yard strike. Extra point was good. It was a 1-play, 40-yard drive, taking advantage of a very short punt by the Thunderwolves, and it was 14-0. Mines then would close out their portion of scoring in the first quarter as Hunter Pearson would hit a 44-yard field goal. It capped another short drive as the Thunderwolves punting woes into the wind killed them there in that first quarter. It was an 8-play, 24-yard drive before the 44-yard field goal made it 17-0. Kickoff would go out the end zone. Thunderwolves would take over after a personal foul penalty against them, and the blindside block started the possession from their own 13-yard line with 7 seconds to go in the first quarter. They handed it off to Howard Russell. He went up the middle, then bounced it outside, won the foot race down the sideline. He would go 87 yards for the touchdown. The extra point was good. It was 17-7. That play occurred on the last play of the first quarter. Thunderwolves then would get a couple of possessions in Ordigger territory in the second quarter, working with the wind, but unable to take advantage of it. The second one, they actually had a goal-to-goal situation, but then snapped the ball past the quarterback, and it turned into a disaster for the Pack as Fuller, unable to handle the snap. They end up falling on it back outside the 30-yard line. It was actually the 33. It was too far to try a field goal, so they had to punt the ball away. Thunderwolves then would make a stop late in the first half, take over deep in their own territory, picked up a first down, but then a little out pattern late in the second quarter resulted in an interception by Howard Russell. He would go 37 yards for the touchdown. It just took all the wind out of the sails for the Thunderwolves. The extra point was good. They made the halftime score at that point 24-7. Mines would come out early on in the third quarter. They set up on a 3rd down and 2. They went to their version of the Wild Pack formation and direct snap to Landon Walker. He would take it in the backfield. He would race 67 yards for the touchdown. The extra point was good. It capped off a 75-yard 3-play drive, made it 31-7 at that point. Thunderwolves, though, would bounce back on the next drive. They would go 58 yards in 5 plays. The touchdown scored by Stephen Kroll on a 38-yard run. The extra point was good. It was 31-14 at that point. Thunderwolves defense then came up big late in a drive. It was after Mines went 66 yards in 15 plays, but the Thunderwolves would get the stop in the red zone, but the Orediggers would kick a field goal to go up 34-14. Thunderwolves with no answer on offense ended up giving the ball back to Mines at midfield. They would go 4 plays, 50 yards, touchdown from Matoka to Matt made it 41-14. Then Matoka, a little bit later in the fourth quarter, midway through the quarter, would hit a 19-yard beautiful strike up the left side in the end zone to Flynn Sheely. The extra point was good, made it 48-14. Then the Orediggers would cap off the scoring late when their backup quarterback, Evan Foster, ran 12 yards around the left end. The extra point was good, making the final score 55-14. Here are the numbers from today's game. Mines with 27 first downs, Thunderwolves with 14. Orediggers 231 yards on the ground, 332 yards through the air, 563 yards in total offense. Thunderwolves, their best rushing game of the year, ended up with 207 yards. Passing game was woeful, though, only 94. They end up with 301 yards in total offense. Some of the other miscellaneous numbers in the game. Time of possession, 34-21 for Mines. Thunderwolves 25-39. Mines, they were not very good on third down in the first half, only 3 of 8, but in the second half they were 5 of 6. They end up 8 of 14 for the game. Thunderwolves only 3 of 14 on third down today. Mines 0 for 1 on fourth down. Remember, that was on the goal line stand when they snapped it over Matoka's head early on in the game. Thunderwolves were 1 of 2 on fourth down. Mines 5 of 6 in the red zone. Thunderwolves were 0 for 2 from the red zone. Individual numbers today on the ground. Landon Walker, 9 carries for 87 yards. Did have a touchdown. His long run was 67, that beautiful one on the Wildcat formation. Noah Roper, 15 carries for 68 yards. He also had a touchdown, had a long run of 19. Matoka today credited with 6 carries for 43 yards. Braylon Tate, the backup running back, late 4 carries for 21 yards. For the Thunderwolves, Howard Russell, his best day as a Thunderbolt, 9 carries for 137 yards. Did have that 87-yard touchdown run. Keon Martinez, 11 carries for 54. Stephen Kroll, 2 carries for 42. Did have the 38-yard touchdown run. Soto, 4 carries for 10. Matoka, 27 of 35 on the day. Did throw the 1 pick. 328 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was sacked twice. Foster, 1 for 1. Fuller, 13 of 27. He was picked once, 80 yards, sacked 3 times. Kroll, 4 for 5 for 14 yards. Receiving, Max McLeod, the All-American, 8 catches for 106. That keeps his streak alive of 100 yards receiving. That's his 4th straight game to start the year. Also another touchdown to add to that. Flynn Sheely, 5 catches for 101 yards. Did have 2 touchdowns. Nick Stone, 4 for 35. Hoffman, 3 for 38. Retzlaff with 3 for 21. Cook, 3 for 9. Martinez, 2 for 29. Gravano, 2 for 13. I don't think Rakowski caught a ball today. Now that I think back at it, he didn't make the stat sheet as one of the top 4.
Behind him.
Yeah, that's right. We're through behind him. Okay. Sorry, Joe. I had you turned off there. Now we got you back
Well.
on. There we go. Individual defensive numbers. Evan Alexander, 8 tackles. Fuchs with 6. Reeve with 6. And mine's celebrating in the shed over there across. So I think they're singing the fight song, aren't they?
They got a kind of a fun little fight song, too, if you've ever heard it. It's a pretty good little tune.
So they're over there in the shed. And they got their fans and their loved ones around them. So salute them as well they should do. Winning is fun. Nushi, 11 tackles. McClellan with 10. Seidenberger with 6. Final score, 55-14. Mines defeats the Thunderwolves. Joe, your thoughts on the game?
Positives with the running game finally shows signs of life. Thought the defense played well at times. They were out there an awful lot. Curious about Chance Fuller. That's 2 games in a row where he has not played well. And, you know, as you move forward, was that an audition for Stevie Kroll? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
But it's nice to know that Stevie's still engaged.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he could easily have checked out, both mentally and physically, and he was up to the task today. I think that people have to realize that you don't realize the team we just saw on the field playing Csu-Pueblo might be the best team in the country.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to be in the conversation when it comes to it. And the team they played the week before that is one of the best teams in the country. And the team before that is one of the best teams in the country. So are they there yet under a first-year coach and a first-year staff with a lot of new players? No. Can they get there? Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the one thing you can say. But then, Joe, I was in a conversation. I won't name who it was last night, but he says he hears that all the time. He says, but you know what? We used to be one of the best teams in the country, and we beat teams like that.
But
that's what we hung our hat on.
Yeah, but
so now you're losing the team, and so it kind of rings hollow to some people.
No, but Northwest Missouri State used to be in the conversation everywhere. Now they're just a good team.
Yeah.
Csu-Pueblo is a good program. You're not going to win every year.
Exactly.
Grand Valley State's not going to win every year.
Yeah, I'm not saying that guy's
but
right.
But you know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's just if nobody dominates always.
Yeah.
I mean, even the Patriots when they were good, they didn't win them all. They lost as many Super Bowls as they won.
Right.
So Csu-Pueblo, if they finish the season 8-3, you're going to say, wow, that's a pretty good year for Phil Vihill's first year staff, a lot of new players. Does he need to go get some guys? Yeah. Can he look across the line of scrimmage against Grand Valley and Western and Mines and say, I need guys like that? Yeah. But they're all going for the same guys. But I don't think this if you're trying to somehow write off Csu-Pueblo, you're sadly mistaken.
All right, let's take a look at scores from around the country here as we finish off our post-game show. Adams State and Fort Lewis, they get it on tonight in Alamosa. That'll be a late start there, 6 o'clock. Finals from the conference. Western Colorado defeated Chadron State in Chadron today, 35-17. Black Hills, a wild one against Mesa. They went into Grand Junction, beat them 25-23. And South Dakota Mines defeats New Mexico Highlands today, 42-7. We'll take a look at a few scores around the country from top 25 Division II action. Some games in progress. I'm not going to give them all to you. Game maybe tonight, Angelo State and Western Mexico. Might check in on that one. Some other games, West Florida and West Georgia. West Florida, the 8th ranked team in the country. West Georgia, former playoff opponent of the Thunderbolts. They're going to go Division I next year, so that might be one you might want to check out if you're looking for games to watch online. Down the line here, Davenport defeated William Jewell. Emporia State remains impressive. They defeat Central Oklahoma today, 38-17. Emporia, 10th ranked team in the country. Bemidji State, they lead Mary 41-10. That's a fourth quarter score. Minnesota State, big win over Concordia today, 42-10. Pitt State, they defeated Kearney 33-14. UIndy, 35-10 win over Saginaw Valley. Slippery Rock defeats Seton Hill 35-14. Cuts down the big upset of the day. They went into Shepherd, beat the number 14th ranked team in the country 20-3. Central Missouri defeated Washburn 58-28. Truman State, the 24th ranked team in the country, defeated Wayne State, Michigan 41-7. NCAA action here. Here are the games that are just getting underway.
There's only one score that needs to be said.
Okay. What's the final?
42-6.
Oregon over
Colorado.
CU. All right.
Wait,
LSU and Arkansas.
Go look at the pregame speech from Lanning to his Oregon Ducks. He said they're playing for clicks, we're playing for wins. It was classic.
I like it. LSU and Arkansas just getting underway. A big SEC battle tonight. Tennessee defeated, actually they lead the University of Texas San Antonio late, 45-14. Just a couple of minutes to go in that ball game. One of the more entertaining games, the early window. Florida State goes into Clemson, wins it in overtime, 31-24. First quarter score: Florida leads Charlotte 7-0. Nice scheduling. Michigan over Rutgers final, 31-7. Oklahoma over Cincinnati, surprising defensive struggle there. 20-6 is the final in that game. Duke goes into Connecticut, beats them 41-7. Joe mentioned Oregon over CU, 42-6. Miami of Florida defeats Temple, 41-7. Alabama over Ole Miss, 24-10. One of those Pac-12 games thought might be interesting. They did just underway, and Washington State with an early touchdown. 27-yard touchdown, and they lead Oregon State 7-0 early on. Only 14-10 to go in the first quarter of that game, so they scored early on there. Utah over UCLA, another defensive struggle there. 14-7 was the final. The game played today in Salt Lake. Utah wins it. Penn State and Iowa tonight. Notre Dame and Ohio State. That'll be the Big 12 matchup on Peacock and NBC tonight. Georgia and UAB, Baylor hosts Texas, Pittsburgh and North Carolina, Washington and Cal, and then the late Pac-12 after dark game, Arizona State and USC. There you go. That wraps things up on your scoreboard from around the country. Joe and I, next week, will have, of course, the Phil V. Hill Show will be at Thunder Zone Pizza and Tap House, brought to you by Rustler Implement. We also thank Rustler Implement for sponsoring the Coach V. Hill post-game interview here as well in today's post-game show. We'll be there at 6 o'clock at Thunder Zone Pizza and Tap House. Come out and join us. It's always pint night there, and you can come out and enjoy $3 pints all night, plus a nice menu, good variety there. Come out and enjoy dinner and listen to the show, watch the show in person, and watch the NFL game afterwards. Thunder Zone Pizza and Tap House for the Rustler Implement Phil V. Hill Show. Next Thunderwolves football broadcast will be next Saturday in Durango. It'll be a 12 noon kickoff against the Skyhawks of Fort Lewis. We'll be on the air at 11:30 with our pregame show. Special people to thank here today. Tim Flynn is the sports information guy at Colorado School of Mines. Didn't see Tim here today. I think he's here, but I just didn't see him. Ben Greenberg is the sports information director at Csu-Pueblo. Paul Plinsky is the athletic director. Special thanks to Phil V. Hill and his entire staff for all their cooperation. Benny Bash has been our producer and engineer today of Thunderwolves football. We thank Benny for his hard work. You can catch him all week long there over on the country station doing his thing on the evening drive. My partner is Joe Cervi. Joe, thanks for all your hard work. My name is Jim Brooks, reminding you of the final score here today. Mines defeats the Thunderwolves. I already forgot the
55-14.
Man, that's how bad it was. There it is.
Don't repeat it.
Don't want to say it.
Flush it.
Until we talk to you on Thursday night, for Joe Cervi, for Benny Bash, this is Jim Brooks bidding you good afternoon.